Hello, and thank you for joining us for Session 7 of Outrunners, a Starscape actual play on the Happy Jacks RPG Network. To find all the sessions of this game, you can go to happyjacks.org/Starscape, and to find all the games on the Happy Jacks Network, you can go to happyjacks.org. My name is Kimi. I am the GM of this game and the designer and writer of the system. It's very exciting, and we're having fun. We have a new face at the table tonight. It's so exciting. So we'll actually start on this side, and that way we can end with our new character. Ready, go.
Hi everybody, I'm Sam. I use they, she, they pronouns, and I play Nolvath, your perfectly normal camouflage, sort of amphibious alien, who will use his they, them pronouns, and is friend of crap people.
It's true. And living jump scare.
Yes.
Hi everybody, I'm Kai. I use he, they, and she pronouns, and I am back playing Road Theolus, who uses he, him pronouns, and he uses the civilian playbook, and he's just a normal guy who likes to walk into town and flash a stupid amount of money to just, I don't know, be. That's just how he be.
Enjoying the finer things in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Hello, everybody. I'm Jay. I use he, him pronouns, and I am playing the human hotshot, Lieutenant Jonas P. Hurley, who also uses he, him pronouns, and is currently living out his frontier life dreams in this little backwater planet town thing.
And I'm Jason, and I am playing Alistair Ward, also a Pyronin, in a strange corner of the galaxy.
Yes.
For some reason.
So you and Kai have the same species. Interesting.
Yes. Pure coincidence. I'm playing the Warrior playbook, however, and I'm a scout of sorts.
Yeah. Awesome. Last time on Starscape, we ended up, we finished off on last two. We said our goodbyes, and we wanted to have a little bit of recreation, some R&R, and most importantly, some good wine to drink. So, like, charting a course from last stew, they went to kind of the nearest place that probably would have at least some good, actually, alcohol, so that poor Jonas isn't stuck just drinking whatever strange smelling liquids he finds on the ship.
Ship vinegar.
Never
I'm
a
alive
good idea.
still, so, you know,
Oh, man.
still have my eyesight and all my limbs.
So far.
So far.
So they ended up on a small little backwater planet called Barco 4. It's actually part of a cluster of planets that are all colonized for like their natural resources. They're close enough together that it's kind of a shared community. They kind of consider themselves all one group and on these various small planets and things like that. But Barco 4 is kind of the center one, and where like most of the commerce that happens, there's very little commerce, but most of it happens out of this one town. I think that's just about everything. Last time you decided to live it up a bit, and you went out to dinner at a restaurant. It was far below Rhode's normal standards, but it still had good fare, and they were very excited to be making money. Rhode was throwing like gemstones around, and people were very, they're just head blown up emoji, just very exciting, like, oh my gosh, money. We did have an incident at the end where you were in like the grocer, and Lawrence was approached by a very subtle child.
Very subtle.
Who's not subtle. Who's asking him his name, and he was using Lawrence's code word for their name. So it was like, oh, hush, child. Shh, talk quieter. If you have a secret message to deliver to my secret identity, please do it more quietly. So then Lawrence kind of ditched out. You as characters hadn't noticed that yet when we stopped. And yeah, so they got some sort of message or summons that had them leaving.
And we had Nolvath.
Yes, and Nolvath was still on the ship, hanging out with our super cute crab little friend.
Yes.
So you had gone to go find them in the forest that is in our giant generation ship. And so you're looking for a hermit crab, a 10-inch high hermit crab somewhere in the forest.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Easy to find.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's still only 10 inches high.
So far, it doesn't grow that fast.
Okay.
I measured.
They were checking. They were ready for that.
Children grow? That's so weird.
Yes, Road. Children grow.
Oh, terrifying.
All right, so let's start back with Why don't we actually have you introduce your character first?
Sure, yeah.
To the audience, just the information on your playbook and things like that.
Yeah.
And we'll do the character connection questions, and then we'll hop in the scene with you two still walking around Barco 4 and whatever happens it.
Sure. Okay, so the warrior, I chose the military career, which gives me +1 to courage. And that gives you the shooting skill automatically. And then I also took fighting, as I've got a history of sort of sword fighting, knife fighting, that sort of thing. And stealth, the character is a scout for the Pyronan government to find terraformable planets, or planets that could be tweaked a little bit, things that could use a Pyronan helping hand, because what else could anyone need?
Obviously.
Will you read the question and what your answers were for the military background?
Yes. So take shooting, then choose one that you like about, or well, in this case, 2 that you like about your job, and cross out one thing that you hate. So the thing that I hate is taking down big targets with explosives.
Okay.
And then the thing that I like is looking into your foe's eyes, that's the fighting skill, and getting behind enemy lines, stealth, which is something I was talented at and then wound up in the scout corps, where they drop me in. I'm at a very low level scout, so that means I have to get my own rides places. But hey, you know, if I make a big find, I might be issued a small ship, and then I might be issued a crew, and then it's you gotta work your way up through the ranks. Then for moves, I took traditional weapons because I do have, like, I've gone through Pyronan, basic training and had some high marks there, and was issued a special kind of sword, like a rapier kind of thing. And then this tougher spots than this move, which lets me roll courage instead of brains when I'm trying to scan under pressure, basically.
Nice.
So that's a good fit. And then anything else you wanted me to get into here?
That's pretty good.
Okay.
Awesome. But we were going to do the connection questions.
Oh, yeah. So there was one that made a lot of sense. I think we've got Jonas knows about a shameful defeat from your past. And so that would be -1 trust. Where does trust start?
It starts at 3 before your connection questions.
Okay.
We're not going to have you change yours.
Okay.
But Jason will change. Well, no. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
We'll
that's right. This would apply to Jonas's trust.
We'll have you just take it for today.
Okay. Then let's see. Now, by pure coincidence, you have spent time improving Blank's fighting skills. Huh. They may not be an expert.
Nope.
But you know they are brave and will serve to the best of their ability. Does that seem all right to write down? Road?
Brave is a funny term, but yes.
There's some room for editorialization there.
Yeah. Creatively, yes. In the moment of training, absolutely brave.
Yeah. And then my last one, I don't know if it makes sense to use this. Blank has helped the crew out of some dangerous situations. I thought maybe I would just leave that one blank.
Yeah, just leave that blank.
Okay.
Because you are new, you don't actually know anyone.
Right.
Past history.
Yeah. I don't know the crew.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's okay.
So that puts me back up to 3.
Okay.
So we're at 3.
Great. So you served with Jonas before?
Yes.
Okay. And you have some sort of history with Road. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Great.
It's not very important.
Okay.
Won't come up.
Okay. I think you're lying. All right. Very good. Excited to have a warrior on the crew.
Oh, let's see. A rank. I wonder what an independent scout. Yeah, I would have some sort of rank, like equivalent of like a ranger is probably yeah. They call me a ranger.
Yeah, and you two probably would have served in like separate militaries, so you wouldn't
Yeah.
have rank over each other.
Yeah.
But you would
Have to
you might
cross
have,
paths.
and work together at some point.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I'm a ranger, that means they'll need to find me sitting in the back corner of the bar with my
Yep.
hood up
And a pipe.
and a pipe. Yeah.
Incorrect.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That was the last campaign. No, we've done
My
this.
mistake. My mistake. Okay.
Okay.
And the galloping blues.
Yes.
Yes.
The blues. So you, Jonas and Road you're wandering around town.
Yep.
At some point, you probably noticed that Lawrence isn't walking with you anymore. I don't know if that would cause you alarm or not. Probably, honestly, not. He probably wanders about.
Just kind of like wondering if he's gone to go like scout a weird corner of the town, maybe lay some cameras that no one asked for, that kind of stuff.
Yes, very true.
Just wondering what he's going to bring back to us.
Should we be worried?
Well, you know that our friend Larry does have a tendency to disappear sometimes.
Yes.
Usually, it ends up for the better.
I guess.
I'm sure they're fine.
Yeah, I'm sure he's fine.
And if he isn't, I'm sure he can probably handle it until we hear the screams.
I wouldn't want to be on the other side of any problem that he might run into anyways, so...
Yeah, I remember what I saw
Yeah.
on Last 2. And I just kind of give you a look like,
Wrote it
and just
being
put that to bed.
Lauren's covered in blood from like 24 hours ago, and just like, we're fine.
So where would you go after you're done with the grocer?
Well, we've got our supplies. In this case, we've got our wine we've provisioned.
Yeah.
I mean, is it back to the ship?
Is there a clothing store?
Yes. Whether they will have anything that you want to wear is very different question.
Sure. Road is definitely a like, if we're going to go shopping, we're going to go shopping. So I think he is intent on at least, if we're going to be in this town, we spend all the energy to come down here, we spend all the fuel, let's walk through, make sure there's nothing else that we could possibly want before we get back on our ship and possibly go to another planet where there are blues instead of stores.
Sure.
So, Kimi, if I may, my understanding was, so Alistair's been dropped in here, has been here for a while,
Okay.
has done basically, like, is ready to submit his report,
Okay.
but also has indication that maybe his war buddy is here somewhere. Was that what we had talked about, or?
If you just want to be here by happenstance, that's fine too. I was
Okay.
trying to think of a way to get you to Barco 4, but if you are in Barco 4 just doing recon, that's totally fine too.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking was we got there to scout it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that people are already here.
Yeah.
But Pyrona will help out.
Yeah.
I spent the whole time since we landed here looking for other Pyronans, so...
So, yeah, I think if I know that Jonas is in the area, I would at least text him and be like,
Sure.
hey, are you in the area? Do you still have a ship? Asking for a friend.
Yeah, like you have some sort of communicator. I think if you were just dropped in by your people, I don't know if you would. Are you in touch with them while you are on planets?
Oh, with the government?
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, I don't know how it works. Like, can I upload a report from anywhere, or do I have to get to a
That is entirely up to you. It
transmitter?
doesn't matter.
I feel like the amount of detail that I log, it requires some sort of like high-powered transmitter.
Okay. Then you probably wouldn't know Jonas was here. So we're gonna have that great like accidental meeting scene.
Yeah.
Because you would have no way to be informed that he was in, like in that fight, like with the not the fight, but the flight situation around around the last two. So you wouldn't really, and they've been jumping around so quickly. They haven't, and they're very, very pointedly fleeing and trying not to leave tracks.
Okay.
So I think it just makes sense for it to be like a serendipitous meeting in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. So I think it'll be great.
Okay. Well, if it might make sense, maybe this is the kind of place where, there's a clothing store. It's also the place where you might go get cleaned up. Like I could imagine having come out of the wilderness, like, okay, I got to get cleaned up and just buy new clothes because these are done.
Yeah. This is a very small town. Like it is like if you imagine a frontier like mining town, that's basically what this is.
Okay.
So this is like the nice place where everyone goes off and does their work on their own little homesteads and then comes back here to when they need stuff like that.
Yeah.
So very much so. So there's a lot of these stores have multiple purposes, but also there's just a very small, like maybe 2 blocks of actual places to shop. So even if you were going to different places, you would probably notice each other at some point anyway.
Okay. Well, I imagine I have just like steam cleaned myself, my feathers, I should say Alistair is tall. Well, are Pyronids tall?
Yeah, Rodent's like over 6 feet tall.
Yeah, okay.
He's like 6'4".
I think Alistair is also like maybe 6'5", 6'6", if that fits.
Yeah.
And then there's the plumage, where Rode has more hair than feathers, Alistair has more feathers. And, that's, they're mostly white and yellow feathers, combination of things with, kind of sandy blonde hair under that. Mm-hmm. And otherwise is just a tall, striking figure in... what looks like new clothes with like the weird folds in them.
Yeah.
But also this like rifle and this rapier that is actually really distinctive and has the like seal of the government on it. I'm like, I am an obliged agent of the government here. And like, I'm at certain places, probably not this town, at certain places I could get credit. I could like... They'll reimburse you at a space station, sure. Not here.
No.
So we're just spending cash and we're just doing what we have to do. Mm-hmm. But I'm picturing just like coming out of this shop like...
Now you say we, that means you and another person?
No.
Oh.
No.
We is the government.
Yeah, the
okay,
government and scouts in general.
Oh, okay, got it.
And the royal we.
Wait a minute, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Pyronids, it's always the royal we.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm picturing stepping out of the shop and in this, it's probably all beige, beige shirt, brown pants. If we're talking about a pioneer town, right? Like new boots. Actually, no, let's keep the old boots. We cleaned the boots. Mm-hmm. They're sturdy. They're worn in.
You got them shined.
Yeah, they're good quality. But steps out and just has to do whoosh, like... flips the hair and the feathers back with the, get the last of the water out of it, and is, I think probably sees Jonas first, right? Is that...
Can I add something?
Yeah.
So maybe there's just like playing off of like the reptile bird like motif, like when birds are like really happy or they're comfortable, they make like this little like noises.
Yeah.
So maybe you're like, I can relax, and you make whatever that noise is.
Yeah.
And
I can't
Road
actually
like
do that noise.
Yeah, but like Road, you like hear the noise.
Oh, that's perfect.
Okay.
I think we're walking around the corner. We do not see the store yet.
No.
And Road just stops and looks at Jonas. Huh.
Not quite sure what to make of that look on your face, Rube.
I can't decide if this is good or bad, but I believe one of my people is around the corner.
Oh, all right. What, you looking for him?
I was curious if they were here, but I'm not exactly eager to return to my people.
Well, I mean, if you were at least curious, I think we would be remiss to not satisfy that curiosity. You want me to, round the corner?
While he says that, he's, like, barely breathing, is, like, fully straightening all of his clothes up, but then also, like, checks his breath, like, fully is preening like a bird, but is also, like, patting his pockets, but he's not really wearing anything outside of his... He was like, I'm going on an adventure, so he's wearing his little thigh holster and a nice outfit, and that's kind of it. He's not wearing, like, a hood or a jacket or anything that he could hide his face in. So he's just like, you go first, and I'll be right behind you.
And I kind of fix my jacket around me, and I start to saunter casual, like my posture gets casual, and I start to saunter around the corner. And I turn around the corner. I think I see you making the sort of the end of that gesture.
Yeah, the like rolling my shoulders out. And that like head bob of like, oh, okay, clean again,
And from there, you just see me stop, and you see me kind of like fix my gaze, and I say, "What the hell?
What are the chances?
Fancy meeting you here, Ranger." And I stride towards you like eagerly, and I extend a hand.
Yeah. I grab the hand, pull in for the one-handed bro hug.
Yeah. when I pull back, a little dampness kind of like hits my face.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, pull that
Sorry,
out.
the feathers hold so much. Anyway,
I think when Jonas stopped before he fully went towards Alistair, Rode planted himself entirely against the wall
I'm not hiding. Who's hiding?
and then heard Jonas relax. So he was like, okay, this can't be that bad. And he peeks his head around the corner to see you two embrace.
Yeah.
I'll let you decide if you see him or not. He is a giant teal man. But then
Yeah.
hides back behind the corner again.
Yeah, I think that's Alistair kind of goes stiff, and well, another Pyronan, since you've gone back around the corner, another Pyronan would recognize the series of micro expressions that are being suppressed, like little ripples, like what we would cut to like America's Funniest Home Videos of like a cockatoo, like their whole crest coming up, like
Feathers out.
but it's the Alistair playing it as cool as he can right now. That what is the lying stat? I need to know if I'm bad
Savvy.
at that. Oh, we're not good at that.
That's cute.
Yeah, that makes sense. Alistair is that honest, like, yeah. So
Okay, all right. So I feel your body language changing,
yeah,
in
yeah,
other words.
yeah.
All right.
And I like kind of release the hug and
Sure.
back up a little bit. And like,
Yeah.
sorry, I feel like I just saw a ghost.
No, you know what? I think I know somebody who might be very interested in seeing you. Hey, Road! And then I kind of walk over to the corner, and I turn and I say, "What? Why are you? Okay, you don't have to peel yourself off that wall. Peel yourself off that wall, Road. Come on over. Come on over."
You see him paint a smile on his face.
Okay.
Just like goes from full panic face to like deep breath, pleasant smile. And you've seen him do this a few times, usually with people that he fucking hates. Paints a smile on his face as pleasant as he can manage and steps away from the wall and almost like he's entering a dance. Elegantly walks around the corner with his little hover cart behind him with all of the wine on it. Alistair, is that you?
That can't be you.
Oh,
Stand back, you're in danger.
I see.
And the rapier comes out. Imposter, explain yourself.
Now, Alistair, let's be sensible.
It is smooth, however.
Oh, of course it is. And I will say, given how recently it was, you see a similar form in the rapier, Jonas.
Yep. Sure. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You two have sparred, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, I've got a couple of those sticks. I've
Yeah.
got my blaster on one side. I've got a couple of those sticks. My hand kind of just drifts over, getting ready to like unclasp it, just in case I need to like block a sword.
Yeah. I'm not an imposter. It's me.
I was told you were dead.
Is that what they're saying now?
That's what I was told.
Oh. Then it's me, a ghost.
Although if you're not dead, it leaves me with a whole host of other questions.
Yes.
Hey, listen, Alistair.
Yeah.
I think you can put that thing away. If you got questions to ask,
No,
it's,
let him keep it out.
I got questions too now, but I'm not gonna ask them. But I will tell you this. I will give you this assurance. Rode and I have been traveling together, and I've taken the appropriate readings, and I can confirm who they are.
I want to point out for a moment, Jonas is a very well-known enjoyer of beings.
Yes.
A Riker-esque way
Kimmy, what a popster!
about going through the galaxy with biological and anatomical things not causing any hindrance to them enjoying themselves.
Thank you for reminding me about
And
that.
so now Rode has been traveling with Jonas, and this is what you know about the two of them.
Jonas has taken detailed readings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Correct.
Detailed readings. So I gonna keep most of the reaction to myself, but I think there's now that you can actually see Alistair Road, the micro expressions of like the ripples of like fuck.
Yeah.
That the frustration and like and so many questions, but then the most like furious sheathing of a rapier that one can manage, and just maybe this is more familiar to Jonas at this point, the buttoning up, the like all of the clasps go into place.
The tank shell
Yeah.
closes.
Yeah.
What you see on a face that you know very well is the same desperation that's always been there, but it is frozen cold. All of the warmth is what his family is known for.
Well, Jonas, I am complications notwithstanding, I'm obliged to entreat upon your generosity for a ride off of this planet if you are leaving anytime soon.
I glance at you
Rode smiles at that.
and I turn back at you and I say, Alistair, now, I have not forgotten what you've done for me. And if it was solely up to me, we'd be on our way to that ship already, to my ship already.
But
But I do need to confer with my crewmate here.
I understand. The Pyrrhonian government will be grateful and will compensate you for whatever would be appropriate.
Don't go anywhere. And I give you a familiar wink that
Okay.
says, I will do what I can.
Okay.
I will do my
Yep.
best. And then I go over to you and I say, as quietly as I can, kind of, just so that you can hear me. So you're the only one who can hear me. I say, you want to go back around that corner for a little bit?
Jonas, you're so sweet and thoughtful. It's fine. I trust Alistair, even if he doesn't trust me.
Well, that's good enough for me.
It is my ship, however, he says as loud as he possibly can.
I think Alistair is standing at parade rest, hands behind his back, staring into the middle distance.
Out of the corner of your eye, you see me flash an uplifted brow that's sort of true, but also sort of not. And I say,
Half truths are comfortable here.
Alistair, I am obliged to you. You may be entreating me, but you know that I am at your service for everything you had done for me in our career. If you are all right, sharing quarters, and I mean sharing space with Road here, then I will gladly have you on board. Now, it is a large ship, so if you need opportunities to take a break from each other's presence, I'm sure that can be arranged.
Well, I understand and I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, I am not surprised in the least that you would have been issued a large ship commission. I'm not surprised.
Then perhaps you'll be surprised to learn that I have not.
Oh,
It is not my ship.
are you not on a
Sorry.
mission?
No, I am, I no longer have official tabs.
Oh, that's what a loss for your government.
I appreciate you saying so. I suppose whatever they carve on my tombstone when I die will be the final judgment on that. But, all right, listen. Past careers notwithstanding, let's go grab your stuff. I think, I don't know, Road, you think we're done here? Or you wanna, you're still looking for a little something?
Rhoda is watching this conversation and also remembers Jonas's proclivities to people around the galaxy.
Oh my god, that's so good.
I think we're done here. And coolly just turns and starts to walk towards the ship.
You got all your stuff?
I will in just a moment, and I go grab a duffel bag out of the shop.
Okay.
And, yeah.
You could, I'd say take your time. Road's not gonna leave with us.
He wouldn't.
Yeah, there's just a whole, like, you know, like, hiking backpack
Sure,
sort of
yeah,
thing
yeah.
that looks like it's equipped with all kinds of bullshit.
You need your rucksack.
Okay.
That's how
Yeah.
this works.
Yes, exactly.
Wandering the galaxy, yeah.
Yeah, it's just full of apples.
All right, yeah. So I lead you over to the port, and I make small talk as we go. So what have
Yep.
you been doing these past years?
Well, I managed to earn my commission with the Rangers, and I am offered solo missions which suit me due to I haven't wanted to return home for some time. And I like the freedom and, well, it's not always fresh air, but I like the opportunity to stretch my legs.
Yeah. Make your own fate, right?
Indeed.
That does suit you.
And if I find the right recommendation, I'll earn my way up the ranks.
Where are you headed now?
Well, I'd need to find somewhere with a strong enough transmitter to send this report home, and then I'll have to wait and see where they send me.
All right. I think we can manage that. This was actually more of a pit stop on our way to nowhere in particular. So
that's
this
lucky
maybe,
for me to
yeah,
run
indeed,
into.
most fortuitous. As we walk, I do say, excuse me one second. I turn to my wrist communicator and I say, I just shoot a message to Lawrence, like, you okay?
Yeah, Rhode's also checking his and trying to not eavesdrop on every single word that was just said and failing miserably.
Sure, yeah. Do we get anything back?
Let's hold off on that.
Okay, sure.
We're gonna
All right.
pause and we're gonna jump dramatically
Yeah.
to Nolvath. So now, Nolvath, you have been, we're going to rewind time for just you for a few
Okay.
minutes. So they went down to take care of this shopping trip. You basically like, okay, sure. I'm going to go find our awesome little crab friend. Yeah, Tevrock. And so yeah, you go in and you're looking for them. While you were down on Last Stew, they stayed up and you kind of like locked them in their gigantic room. Like it's fine. It's totally fine.
They're supposed to be in here.
Yeah, it's
fine.
100. Yeah, it's made for them. It's also like a single person being in like, I don't know, like 4 football stadiums. Like it's massive. They're a tiny like 8 to 10 inch crab, and it's like a massive forest container. They're fine. So you are looking for them after having been down on Last Stew. And yeah, what would you like to do?
Oh, I brought a skull back for
That's
that
right.
too.
That's what you did.
Yes.
So what does the skull look like again?
What did the things we fought look like?
They kind of like had like a little bit of like a hippo like
Yeah.
head.
Yeah. Okay.
So it would have been like the top would be sort of like flat and broad. Actually, probably good for a shell. So
Yeah. It seemed like about the right size, maybe a little bigger than the like acorn casing they were using, because assuming they will have grown a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably got some sharp teeth, but like on the side that's like the back of it,
okay.
or will be once it's worn as a shell. Yeah. So I think they probably take some time to like clean it up, and then draw some like purple stripy patterns on it to kind of match what Tavrock's like exoskeleton looks like.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. And then go into the indoor forest to see if they can find Tavrock.
Awesome. Yeah. Now, how do you? Have you ever thought about how you would like call Tavrock if they weren't able to see you?
That is a great question. I think since they communicate mostly by color and light, but they do have like claws and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they would kind of like tap on the skull to make that like claw clicking sound.
Oh yeah.
To try and like get their attention.
Super smart.
Or you could try the universal whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah.
Zoidberg in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you do like the little clicky sound, and you kind of like wait for a minute. It's a very big forest thing. So, and in a minute you kind of hear like a little bit of like a little bit of like a scurrying kind of noise, and then Tavrock kind of pops out of like some of the brush off to the side, and they do look like they've grown a little bit.
Okay.
So, because you were down on the planet for like overnight, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was definitely like a day cycle.
So, the thing that you notice most is their exoskeleton is a bit of a different color.
Oh.
So they were like a light, like a very light lavender color, and now you see it's a little bit richer, and there's a little bit of like patterns in it. So there's
Ooh.
just sort of like these kind of swirls. If you put like, it's not quite like tie-dye, but like, you know, the kind of color you get if like oil's floating on top of water.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of like a sheen like that to it now.
Interesting.
So it just looks like, I mean, knowing what you do of biological beings, like having like they probably like molt. So it looks like maybe they molted while you were gone, and they're just
Yeah.
a tiny little bit bigger, and then they have a little bit new shiny exoskeleton.
Cute.
They seem a little proud of it.
And flashes proud colors at them.
They flash like pleased, like, oh yes, proud but pleased colors back. And then then they switch to like the curious color. And they're kind of like, you can see that they're kind of looking at you, and they do the thing where their eye stalk pops out a little bit more and like looks a little closer at what you're holding.
And so they'll come over and like get down on like crouch down to offer it to Tavrock and kind of show them like, you know, show them the empty spot. So like shell.
They kind of like tap at it, their little claws, and then they like pick it up. And then you can see they kind of do the thing where they like pull their body out of their current little thing, and they're trying to like fit it. And then they move a little bit, and they pull it, and they're kind of like adjusting and little things. So in like a couple of minutes, they've got it on, and they're very proud. So even more proud now. Like total shining proud colors everywhere, and a little bit of like show off colors.
Excellent. Perfect. Yes.
Oh.
Good. Proud parent colors.
And then so then they start asking like curious, where are friends? Where are friends?
Oh boy. How do you explain? Back soon? Question mark?
They seem pleased with that, yeah.
Safe.
Lasers?
Not lasers. Science?
Like disappointed, but okay. Like not sure. Yes. I think they were more asking like, while we're waiting, can we do
can we
lasers?
shoot the laser?
Like,
That's
Hilarious. Do their claws look like they could hold a weapon?
maybe. Not so much. Like they're very still at this stage of their development. Whether they will become the humanoid type being that's in the cryopods.
Yeah.
At this point, it's still like basic like
Unclear.
hermit crab anatomy.
Okay.
Like if there was a specialized weapon that was made for it,
Got it.
yes.
Okay.
If you hand them a gun right now, it's probably like
No
well,
target practice, not yet.
I'm hearing crab cannon.
Yeah, little mounted,
Yeah.
back mounted cannon.
Yeah. On the back of the skull.
Yeah.
Mad Max vibes.
Mad Max baby hermit crab.
Totally.
You do notice though, like their proportions are just slightly different than they were before.
Okay.
So like before they were like pure hermit crab shape,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're just like a little bit elongated. Like not totally different, but just like if you hadn't been like such a scientific being whose literal programming is like, I have to go study biology and find out, information, it probably is such a minuscule difference you probably wouldn't even have noticed. But you literally have been taking measurements of them and stuff like that.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Definitely gonna jot down those observations for sure. And then I have a really bad idea.
Okay. Excellent.
Since everyone left me on the ship here by myself for so long.
Yep.
They did.
We did.
And my little crab son has the ability to unlock more features in the ship when they touch screens.
God.
What if we went to the cryopods and see what other buttons we could press?
Oh no.
Amazing.
We're gonna come back and the whole ship's gonna be awake.
What a gift to a GM.
Sam says, I'm gonna poke it.
Yes.
If there's a cursed object, I'm gonna touch it.
Yeah.
What does it taste like?
Why don't you do
favorite
more
question.
planning? Ta-da.
We make our own fun,
Yes.
Kimmy.
Yes.
You help frame
Yes.
whatever this is.
I just heard. Okay. All right. Yeah, absolutely. So you're carrying Crabson to cryopods. Are you going to any specific cryopods?
Well, obviously the ones that are like still working.
The ones with living people in them?
Yes.
Or like, okay. Okay.
Do
Yeah.
it.
Well, there's the terminal at the bottom that like brings the pods down, right?
Yes.
So what I want Tavrock to do is just activate the terminal to see if like more options or like
Oh,
more
I see.
information
Okay.
comes up.
I think the last time it made like a disc that like took you up to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But you said it could also bring down.
yeah, it
Yeah.
can bring it down too. So okay, so you're down at the bottom where like the little discus pops out of the floor.
Uh-huh.
And so like what are you communicating to Tavrock?
Oh geez. What is it? Investigation is and like science is a real hard thing to communicate to a baby hermit crab.
Go nuts.
Yeah.
Touch that.
Yeah.
So definitely like curiosity, and like help,
Okay.
and family.
Oh, okay.
Poke it.
Like family as in like the crew's family? Like you're asking him to help your crew family? Or this might be your family?
I think more general than that.
Okay.
It's like I'm asking you to help our family.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then like Tavrock gets very excited and like when you have like a little kid who's like, I'm a soldier, yes, that will help you. Like it's sort of like that color, like, yes, proud, help, strong, like do the thing, like all these little like flashes of colors. Gotta be careful a little of the typing, just because it's a little.
Yep.
Yeah. And if you push it up farther in the desk, and our little choir.
Well,
And then he kind of goes and he like sort of, you can tell that he's sort of pretending to know what he's supposed to be doing.
They'll help.
Yeah.
And like point out like
Yeah.
this is activate the terminal button.
Yes. Da-da-da. I mean, just a second, you see lasers flash, like when he pushes the button. And then kind of like the excitement. And then no,
Not
no
lasers.
lasers.
Sorry, Tavrock.
But he does start tapping on things. And you do notice that there's these little like lights on the floor that start lighting up similar to the console that he touched, like in the bridge. They're just like these little lines that look like they're just powering up. Almost as little like conduits.
Okay.
Similar to like LEDs or something in the floor that kind of go out and just like start attaching to different pods.
Interesting. Are they attaching to random ones, or does it look like they're attaching to the active ones?
It seems like it's like preset ones. They're not just picking up the working ones.
okay.
It seems like he's trying to he's activating something that these buttons control these particular ones.
Okay.
And I say attaching, but like the light, it's like a conduit's already there, and you can just see them powering up and lighting up.
Right. Okay.
So it's not like things are like crawling around and attaching to new
Yeah.
things. It's just
activating.
yes, activating these things. And you can kind of hear a little bit of a it's like there's like a little increase of power. And
Interesting.
when he first touches it, Tavrock like pops back in his shell because the lights all start.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Ooh!" And then he tries to be brave again. And so,
Flashes. It's okay.
yes, I know it's okay. I know I did it. It was me.
Good job.
I wasn't scared.
Yeah,
gonna
what's it-
do-
Why would you think that?
They're gonna do a new scan, kind of just on the area to see if any of the like life signs, like if the strength of them has changed at all, or like if anything is different than when we scanned this area before.
A little bit. Did you brought them to the one that you activated before that was near the pod that was
I
functional?
think so, because it was kind of like, yeah, because I know that terminal works, and it's kind of close. It's not like super far into the.
You start getting readings from all the pods that have been activated. They've all started their kind of like arrival procedures.
Oops.
Now it's not all of them, like not all thousands of them. Like we'll say there's like 20, of which you know that one of them has a living being, the rest are not.
Yeah.
So there's like 20 that are being
That's like part of why I picked this area
Yeah.
too. It's like there's not a large concentration of like if I wake somebody up, there's not a bunch of them.
Yes, exactly. So but it does seem like it's going to take a while because it's
Okay.
meant to take them out of this hyper sleep that they're supposed to have been in probably for a couple hundred years maybe.
Yeah.
It's probably been a lot longer than that. It's been a really long time, so whether it's going to be successful or not. But
Good
you can
question.
you can start to see it's like one of these things where it's like calculating and trying to like measure their temperatures, and it's going to slowly like normalize what their conditions are to what the spaceship conditions are.
Okay. Since Nolvath has been like on the ship for a long time, I think they've probably been like gathering this data set of like what the language is and like what the interface, like how to understand it basically. So now we have new data information. So I probably understand a little bit more even of like how to do the computer
Yeah.
and like interact with it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very helpful, especially if there's like stats
Mm-hmm.
that I could use to like learn like the numbering system and like if there's like life signs, like what the words for that are.
Yeah.
So I'm taking note of all of that.
Yeah, it's been really hard for you to kind of break through. Meeting Tavrock actually has given you a key because there hasn't been a lot of actual like numerical or language stuff.
Uh-huh.
And you're realizing that that's because they use this light technology to mimic their own lighting systems. So
Okay.
like the lighting that Tavrock is using to communicate is suddenly you're starting to see things that like resemble that in the
ship.
lights around
Okay.
the ship. And it's sort of like very clearly unlocking a lot of things for you since you're able to understand Tavrock.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yay.
So, and suddenly you're like, oh, okay, I get it. Like there are measurements and things like that being communicated on pads and stuff, but that also explains why it's been so hard to break that code because it isn't the majority of how they communicate.
Yeah. Okay.
That rocks.
Now I get like a missing piece of the puzzle. It's freaking cool. Yay. Okay. Soon I'll be able to understand the computer.
Yeah. Exciting. All right.
Cool. So that looks like it's gonna take a little while.
Yeah.
Um.
And we'll say like there's like that at that point, like we'll have this be like when they come back up. Is it like that seems because you went down. It's been a few hours.
Yeah, we went down. We had a whole meal.
Yeah.
We did a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
We went shopping. We had a really awkward meet cute.
Yeah.
I
We'll
think-
say like it's been like 6 hours.
That feels right.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
went
Yeah.
grocery shopping.
Yeah. Yeah. Had to load everything up on the ship.
Yeah,
or
then we
up on
still
the
had to
shuttle.
like actually go up and down.
Shoot the breeze with what was it, porter yam?
Oh
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, for a little bit.
Yeah.
quarter yeah.
Yes. So we'll just say that like you like hung out in the forest for a little while, and then you came and did this, and now you've been taking readings for a while.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to do before they arrive back?
If it seems like the like arrival protocol is going to take like a while, then I'm gonna take Tavrock back to the forest.
Okay.
I'm gonna communicate to them. Good job. Very helpful. Thank you.
Proud. Laser?
Not yet. Food.
They like that. Okay.
Yeah, we'll make them some food and take them to
Okay,
to the forest.
Okay. Fantastic.
Gotta get that child crab a laser of their own.
You're gonna need somebody to make a mini laser.
Yeah, that'll end well. All right. So, all right. The three of you. So please repeat the last thing that you said you did, Jonas.
Oh,
You'd send the communication.
I sent the communication to Lawrence. Just
Yeah.
quick message. You all right? You know, you okay?
Yeah. You actually get back sort of like you can tell it's programmed. It's not typed like sent
Sure.
live. It's like
Out of office message.
basically, but it's specifically for whoever of you contacted them first.
Yeah.
Road was just monitoring and just being like, okay, he will say something,
Yeah.
but you're actually like,
Yeah,
Reaching
like
out,
pushing
like-
something out. Yeah.
Yeah. So you get this like immediately like this ping back of an auto respawn that's, don't worry about me. I have something to handle. I'll find you when it's done.
Okay. All right.
And trying to like not give away too much stuff. But
Fear.
yeah. I'm gonna say that you came up with a word or like
Yeah.
a code together.
Sure.
So it's like, especially with you, it's like, it's actually Lawrence if this word is in the message.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you've talked before about how like his people are super tricky, so it's like, if you get messages from me, don't trust it unless it has this in it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have you think about what that would be. And it's probably something for each different, like maybe as a crew, but maybe he came up with one for each of you. So think about what that would be
Okay.
for you, Jonas. We'll say it's there, and then you can tell us when you come up with it.
Okay. All right. I just shoot back, assuming he'll get this sometime. You know where to find me.
You get the same message back again,
Yeah.
auto-responded.
Yeah. Good Lord. What is it? I'm going to say the word is revolve. So it's a way that there are various ways that can be included into a message.
Yeah.
And I consider what this might mean for a while, like just for a moment. And then it's almost that same thing, that sort of buttoning up, putting that face back on, and say, I turn to Alistair and say, it's not much further to the shuttle. So we're just up at the port over here. Let's go.
and you see Road has not spoken pretty much this whole walk. But when he gets to this ostentatious, like only a wealthy Pyronin would buy a ship this ridiculous steampunk shuttle monstrosity. Normally he goes all the way over to the ship and like pushes the button to drop down the cargo ramp and everything, and this time he like pushes some button that he clearly always has, because he is not interested in stopping, waiting. He pushes the button, the cargo ramp drops down as he's walking towards it, and he is getting on that ship with the little wagon of wine and everything, not putting it in the cargo bay, putting it straight into the body of the shuttle. He is getting in, and he sits down in the co-pilot seat and crosses his arms and just waits.
Is the shuttle in any particular, like, the style of a Pyronin celebrity, or is it old-fashioned? Should it be newer? Is it, like...
It is definitely out of sync with what you know his family to favor.
Oh, okay.
It is not actually a Pyronin ship at all. It is one that he must have acquired off-world.
Okay. All right.
And it's very, like, old-timey. It looks like a train.
I almost said, what's the family name again? But what's the main family name?
Theolus.
Oh, Theolus, that's right. I was like, we only have so much time.
Yeah.
Okay. Just kind of walking up the ramp, taking my time. I think because I could see how uncomfortable you are. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not subtle.
All right.
You're right.
Without making eye contact, just kind of walking by to wherever a passenger would sit. Like, not the sort of vessel I usually see a Theolus in.
Well, that's what happens when you're not part of the family anymore in that way.
Really?
We'll catch up.
I hope so.
I'm outside, and I'm just making final, checkout arrangements with Yam. And I pull out some more of that, just what of the cash I have left, those little plates that interlock, and I kind of unsnap them, and I just pass them over to Yam and say, thanks for taking care of our ride.
I can't accept any more payment. Your captain, your friend already paid much more than is required.
I'm gonna say we may end up making a stop here again, so why don't you just take that as an advance?
Oh, very, very well. Yes, I will start an account for you.
And actually, I'll walk them over to wherever their office is. And as soon as I'm out of earshot, I say, or as soon as I'm just I feel like I'm in a more private area with them, I say, there may be people who might come looking for me. If anybody comes asking, I would appreciate if you showed some discretion and perhaps directed them elsewhere.
Well, is it?
Oh, I think you're in the ship.
Yeah, we're in the ship.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No.
Sorry, you're just talking to someone else.
Yeah, no worries.
So, yeah, as long as you're not wanted by the law, are you?
No, it's nothing like that.
Then yes, I would be happy to make sure that your whereabouts are as safe as possible.
Wonderful. I appreciate it.
So, not a very good liar, but I will endeavor to do the best that I may.
In that case, we are my crew and I are headed for the Devonian Prime system.
Oh, yes, excellent destination point.
Right.
I will be sure to make sure that they know that is where you are going, if that is what I should do.
Let's just say you're welcome to share that information.
Yes. And since I do not know where else you're going, that is the only information I will have.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yam, you take care of yourself.
You too.
Okay. And I walk over to the shuttle.
I think before Jonas gets on board, since you went and actually had a conversation, the moment that Rhoda is aware that you are away,
Yeah.
without turning around to look at Alistair, I'm glad you're well.
I feel the same.
Silence after.
Except for the approaching crunch, boom, boom, boom of my boots, making the way up the ramp.
Jonas, she's all warm for you.
Oh, fantastic! I love it when the seat is warm for me. And I get in the seat, it's like jokingly. I get on the seat and I look at you like, you all right? You sure about this?
Looking dead ahead, not engaging with anything that is not the windshield of this ship.
Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Boo. I engage, anti-grav and thrusters, and we are off back to the Amber Star.
So while you're sitting in the transport, like at first, Jonas, I feel like you're like, well, everything's, and then you just like slowly come to the realization that there's just like the tension in the shuttle.
Oh yeah.
Just like
Right.
so thick you could like cut it with a knife.
Yeah.
And you're not sure if it's hatred or what. It's just like there's so much history piled up on this moment that you are completely unaware of.
Sure. Yeah.
Rancid vibes.
Just so awkward. And I mean, unless anyone has, like, I feel like it should just stay super awkward.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm sitting stock still, close my eyes in whatever this like jump seat is, pretending to be asleep.
While if you're pretending to be asleep and you're kind of just staring ahead, I will take the opportunity to send a text over to Nolvath.
Okay.
And be oh boy. And I will send a message saying, we're on our way back to the Amber Star. We should be there shortly. It's feeling a little awkward in the shuttle. We'll let you know more. Well, you'll find out why soon.
Oh.
Nolvath, a real connoisseur of what's awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Physically awkward, intellectually awkward.
Yeah. So as you're finishing up doing some of your readings and you're taking Tolrock up back to the forest, like that's when you get that message.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, and I shoot back at our little friend. Or,
Aw.
you know, just...
Yeah. Flash Jonas says hi.
Yeah. No.
They,
I feel like by
They
now,
kinda
like
look
they have
around.
a color assigned to like each
yeah.
person.
yeah, there's like different
Yeah.
shades of
Yeah.
and they kind of I feel like match something about them. So it's like his stuff for Road is like kind of matches the feather colors, and then it sort of matches like Jonas's like favorite outfits, or
Suit.
yeah, you've got your flight suit, right? What color is it again? It's like a
It's
brownish.
like blue and
A
gold.
blue? Oh, yeah,
actually.
perfect.
It's like a deep blue and gold.
Okay, yeah. So we've got like a teal, and then we've got like deep blue, like royal blue.
That's pretty.
Yeah, and then for you, it's just the parental figure color.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. And yeah, they kind of look around for a moment. Like, coming? Yes.
Soon.
Oh,
Soon.
Yeah. And then yes. At the end of this very quiet, extremely long but really short.
Excruciatingly awkward flight.
I mean, you know, when we get there, I kind of pointed out to you, hey, Alistair, check this out. This is our ride. Welcome to the Amber Star.
Well, that is objectively impressive. How did you... What ship is this?
To be completely honest, we don't know. It was a happenstance occurrence that we found ourselves together on it.
A legitimate salvage.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, a salvage doesn't get any better than something like that, wouldn't you say?
This is incredible.
No.
Yes, I intended to stake a claim.
Oh, but didn't follow through with it?
It was occupied.
I see.
I'll be happy to give you the grand tour when we dock. Make my way to. I kind of as we fly towards it, I give you a little spin around and I say, you know, there's the bridge over there. Really great observation deck just right above it. We have several biopods where livestock apparently is being or has lived for quite some time.
Interesting.
Each of these little helixes here are, well, you know what? It's best that you just see it from the inside.
Oh, very well. Will the crew be upset with the firearms or anything?
Well, considering you are speaking to half of the crew right here, right now,
Oh, I see.
or in some cases, maybe not speaking. Anyway, we'll be all right. You're
think-
going to be just fine.
You get, like, enough of an eyebrow ridge raise that you would recognize, like, that was good. Like, I appreciate that you understand what's happening and that it's complicated and that we don't have mess in the street.
No.
This
We're
is
civilized
like,
folk.
I understand. This is like Florida humidity after stepping off a plane, kind
Yeah.
of like, you know, understanding like what the situation
Yes,
is.
it is humid.
So yeah, like sort of that thickness in the air. I open up our the ad hoc ship bay and we dock. And as soon as the ship touches down, I start whistling a tune and I like walk right out of the ship. Yeah, because I need to breathe.
Oh. So now the two of you are alone. in the
Are you
shuttle
meeting
again.
us, by the way,
Yeah, are you
at the
meeting
shuttle
us?
bay?
Yes, but I'm camouflaged.
Okay. You just see, the shuttle has not. It's still like spinning down, fresh from touching down. It's like as soon as the pads like poof, contact the floor, that ramp is down, and I'm like whistling, just forced whistling, marching down, and I pause at the bottom, and then you just see me kind of like hunch down, hands on my knees, like, ooh.
The humidity.
Yeah.
I mean, there probably is a whole channel of pheromone happening that you
Oh.
wouldn't really get.
Yeah.
But,
right.
like,
Sure.
a whole system, like a whole weather system is... Yeah, so I'm just gonna...
I think you are between Road and the cart of wine, which is just perched in the back of the shuttle.
Right.
And he's sitting in the in the co-pilot seat, so he's just sitting and waiting.
Huh. So I'm sort of like, would I just follow Jonas out? I think I would. Yeah. I'm just like, oh. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen.
I feel like it's like the thing where you like start walking out and then like I don't even know if Rhodes sees it, but it's like those moments in like the Jane Austen romances where you see the other person pause at the door for
Yes.
just a moment.
But not look back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, look
Yeah.
down at 45.
Yeah, and everyone in that, yep.
Yeah, that's the
And
one.
then stride forward.
And everybody in the audience is like, oh no, they walked out.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
And, you know, for Nolvath's benefit, just this, like, Skarsgård shaped, you know, just striding down the ramp, like, equipment all over the place, like, probably rolling up sleeves, like, okay, it's nice to be indoors again.
And like just for your point of view, Alistair, this is a ship unlike any you've ever seen. The technology is ancient, but also much more advanced than just about any civilization has right now. Like it's on par with like the tree planet. I know you were listening, but so this is like truly bizarre. Like this is a remnant from before kind of the collapse of space civilization that has now been starting to build back up.
Truly alien.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
absolutely, and probably older than some like actual like civilizations that are currently existing. So, I have a note. Oh, okay. Yes. Excellent. Good to know.
Once Alistair leaves the shuttle, like fully down the ramp, footsteps are now clearly in.
Well, I want to back the stopping at the edge and looking down for a second included the crates of wine and like almost approving.
His taste has not changed. It's still very expensive.
Okay, all right,
It's the most expensive wine that he could buy in a 2-horse town.
sure, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Just wanted to add that little like noticing the wine.
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's not the worst idea.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably is, but
Yeah, so he immediately once footsteps stop being on the ramp, the ting 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 dum dum dum. He gets up, calls his little hover wagon of wine, and walks down, and you see the most put out road you have ever seen, Nolvath. He looks like he is a drowned cat that has had all of its claws clipped and never been fed a day in its life.
oh, that's every cat.
Yeah. Oh.
The curiosity is rampant.
Um,
Yeah, they are observing this in fascination, completely invisible.
so when I hear somebody coming out of the ship, you know, your
Yeah.
shoes, and I'm pretty sure at this point I probably know like the sound of your footsteps over
Yeah.
the sound of your footsteps.
I have
Road.
functional traveling boots.
And
Yeah,
I'm wearing designer leather sole shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you actually have the clack of like
Oh, yeah.
heels, like
He's got a
like, you
little
know,
bit of a
yeah.
heel.
Okay, all right. I snap back up. You're gonna see me like, whoop! All right, here's you know putting on the you know the face again, and I turn around and see you coming down. And I'll say, all right, tell you what, Ranger, let's go see if we can find you someplace comfortable to call your own while you are here on board.
I love that idea so much. Thank you.
Actually, and I don't think I've asked you what you were doing on Barco 4 yet. So I think as we walk the ship,
Yeah.
and I take you to you know a good semblance of course, I asked you what you were doing over there and like how you found the place.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah. Well, as to how I found it, I was assigned the coordinate. And this was the only rock in the system that seemed worth pursuing at all. And it is interesting, although I don't think the government will be very pleased with my report. It's not as promising as we had hoped.
Well, I mean, the inhabitants of those worlds have done what they can. Considering how long they've been there, it looks like they probably hit their peak right about now.
I'm sure they've done their best.
Well, anyway, glad to get you back into some more civilized quarters.
Yes. The accommodations in town were there. But I'm happy to make use of whatever comforts you have here on board.
Okay.
And I hesitate to add. No, I think I will check over my shoulder. Are we like alone in the hallway, as far as I know?
As far as you know,
Okay.
yes.
We're still in the dock.
Okay.
So.
I'm sure you will have picked up on the tension.
The what? Oh, no, not at all.
But I want to assure you, I have no intentions of getting in the way of whatever you and Mr. Theolis have found comfort in. That's not my intention in the least. I just want you to have that from me.
I'll look at, you know what? All I'm going to give you is kind of like a little nod of acknowledgement. I'm going to not say anything. I'm going to let you fill your own gaps.
Sure, yeah.
Because I'm still, filling in my gaps
Yep.
as a player. But anyway, I say, all right, listen. Again, there's going to be plenty of room on this ship if you need to take some space from one another. I trust you enough to let you explore as you see fit.
I'm sure I will explore. I do like to walk, but I don't need physical space from Rhodes' quarters.
Okay.
And honestly, wherever is nearest the mess hall is fine by me.
Oh well, yeah. There we go. I should have expected that. I actually turned down another corridor and I start walking you towards the mess hall. We got a few more rooms that we haven't yet found use for. By the way, also we do have one more. Let's see. Besides Rode and myself, we do have two more crew members. One shall be joining us at a later time. But there's one who I haven't seen a sign of just yet.
By the way, in my head, I'm picturing this like predator shimmer on the ceiling. Yeah, okay.
And it's not necessarily on the ceiling, but it's like you might catch it out of the corner of your eye, like along the wall, and then when you look, it stops.
Yeah, okay.
Worse.
Well, yes, this proximity I'm sure will be fine. The company you kept when we were in the mud had the saying of, call me what you will as long as I am summoned on time for supper.
In more words than my culture would say, but yes, I got you.
Elegantly said.
I find a room. I kind of tap the door open, and it's pretty bare.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say, Kimmy, if this is all right, that there are like tables and stuff that can fold out of the wall, or kind of slide out of the wall.
Yeah.
But I have to go get like crates for like a bench or a like an act like set up a couple of them down, like a couple of low slung ones for a bed.
Well, as long as there's room for me to lay out, don't trouble yourself. I will be fine with this.
All right. Well, if you need anything, I mean, you know how to get in touch.
Thank you.
And you know what? I'll say, tell you what, why don't you get settled? I'll see about whipping us a right proper meal. And I'll see if I can find our other crew member so that we can make proper introductions.
Thank you for your hospitality.
I give you sort of like an actual kind of formal bow and a salute,
Oh, yeah.
you know, because it's been a while.
Clicked heels,
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
full thing, yeah.
Yeah. And my face kind of firms up, but the motions of doing that and having the gesture returned, like, brings a smile to my face.
Yeah.
And then I turn around, I walk out and I'm like, you hear me mumbling. All right, where's that Nolvath going to?
Boogeyman.
You get like just out of hearing distance of his room, and behind you, you hear, "Who's the new guy?"
I was wondering when you'd be making an appearance. Have you been watching this whole time? Of course you have. Yeah. Why am I asking?
Just look at you blankly.
Actually, he is an old friend and associate of mine. We served, well, he currently still serves in some form of militaristic function. But we spent some time together in separate units, but in the same field. He apparently he needs a lift, so we're taking him on. Apparently, he knows road too.
It sounded as if he knows them or knows him well? Question mark.
I got the same impression, but I could not bring myself to pry on either side of that fence.
Perhaps we will ask Rode about it.
Yeah, mate. Perhaps you'd be the better person to do that. I'll probably be busy showing. You may call him Alistair. Alistair Ward, ranger of his people. I will probably be, too busy showing Alistair around.
Fair enough.
Oh, by the way, hey, how's Tavrock?
Very good.
Yeah.
Tavrock loves the shell. Not shell. The skull
Oh, all right, wonderful.
that we brought back for his new shell. It fits very well. Was having a grand old time in the forest.
Oh, well, that's wonderful to hear.
I think Tavrock missed everyone.
Oh, well, tell you what. I'm gonna say at this point we're walking back to the shuttle bay. I just tell you to wait by the shuttle. I run in. Where are you, by the way, Rode, at this point?
You walk in and Rhoda is sitting on the crate of wine. It is open. There's a bottle of wine in his hand. It is not open. And he just has his face in his hands.
I just walk up to you. First of all, I think we walk in together, Nolvath, right?
Yeah.
And we see that, and I just give you a look like, see what I mean?
The moment
There's
he
something here.
actually hears footsteps,
Sure,
probably,
sure.
and it takes him longer than normal because he's usually the most keen-eared of, someone's approaching. He straightens up, takes a deep breath, and you can see him again paint that false smile on his face, and then goes back to looking at the bottle of wine. I was just inspecting this wine. There's nothing to see here.
I just walk up to you, and I have a little utility tool. A little corkscrew pops out. I'm like, looks like you really need that. You want me to get that for you?
There's no glasses in here.
I think moments like these actually merit drinking right from the bottle.
I'm not... No.
We're not that far gone.
You know where to find me when you need me.
Always, which... Thank you.
As I'm walking up into the shuttle, I just put an arm on your shoulder and try to give you a reassuring.
He kind of jumps a little
all
actually
gonna
with the
be
contact.
Okay, all right. I give you what a reassuring, thing I can before quickly pulling away. And I run up and I pull that. Remember how we ate that little shelled creature in the restaurant? Yeah, I run up, I grab the shell, and I walk over to you and I say, I got this. I don't know. Maybe Tavrock can grow into it or use it as a dress shell. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how they how they work, but I thought
do seem
you might
to
appreciate
molt.
it.
They will need new shells periodically.
All right.
Oh,
There you go.
Nolvath. Hi.
Hello, Rode. Are you well?
I'm fine.
That sounds disingenuous to us.
Yes, it's called Putting on a good face. Wine. It's open.
Sure. We will share wine with you.
Wonderful.
I make eye contact with you, Nolvath, and I'm gonna be just, not saying anything. I just kind of go, like, I'm gonna leave you two alone for a little bit to maybe have a conversation. I think some talking needs to happen. And I head back out.
They'll take the wine from you.
It needs to decant for a moment.
While we wait. You do not need to put on a face with us.
Give me that. Takes the bottle of wine back and just takes a full swig out of it. Okay, I do need a glass. And he just gets up finally, goes into the shuttle, and reappears with wine glasses. Because again, it's like a Rolls Royce shuttle.
Assuming you have a full bar in there.
Obviously. And he comes out with 2 glasses and holds them both and pours a very healthy pour for you as well, and holds it out. I haven't seen anyone from home in a very long time. And of course, of all the fucking people in the galaxy, it's Alistair Ward.
You have unpleasant history with him?
No.
Pleasant history that has ended?
I believe the word you're looking for is complex. It's hard to have something that never began. It's hard to say it was good when it was bad. It's hard to say it was bad when it was good.
That does indeed sound complex. Well, if you wish us to keep an eye on him for you, we will.
Good luck. He's slippery.
More than us?
No. Come to think of it. Huh.
He did not notice us when we followed him.
You look more like a gas leak than a person.
Oh, this is true. That is a good comparison.
But we don't have a gas leak on here.
No, not currently.
Okay.
The sensors would have let me know.
That's true. The thing about Alistair is that he taught me how to fence.
Is this a euphemism or literal?
Huh. See, you have learned things. We've corrupted you.
I prefer to think of it as learning from friends.
You know how when a comet is going to hit a planet, sometimes the gravity just bends it. They never touch. That is Alistair Ward.
It seems the gravity has brought him back around to you.
Yes. And he thought I was dead. My family's been telling people I'm dead.
That is quite rude.
It's funny because my mother keeps sending me money.
Some cultures do send tithes to the dead.
That is not what's happening.
So she says one thing to everyone and then treats you in a different way.
That is my mother.
That does sound difficult.
There's a reason I'm here and not home.
We are glad you are here. You deserve better than that.
Nolvath, weren't you the 100th child of a hive mind?
Oh, more than 100th. Probably somewhere around the 1357th.
Don't you ever wish you were in the single digits?
We are currently, and have been for some time. It is very strange. It is like our comet has left the planet's atmosphere. We know it will or should return, but we don't know when. Could be a very long time, perhaps longer than we have.
Well, I'm glad we have you. It is still only 4.5 of us. Single digits.
Single digits. It is a good family.
I should talk to him. All right. I have to go get all this wine settled in. Can you help me?
Of course.
I'm going to say that was a connect moment.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Definitely.
so Nolvath for starting that conversation. I'm going to say that you went ahead and instigated that.
That's right, we have
Yeah.
moves.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are
did a
moves in
move.
this
They're
game.
So, yeah, so Road, you get to decide, do you feel like you grew closer? And do you feel that Nolvath shared a significant truth with you?
I think for the very first time in this game, yes, Road has connected and definitely shared a significant truth.
That's
okay,
awesome.
that's awesome. So both of you clear 2 conditions, and Nolvath, you earn 2 trust.
Woo. I am full up on trust.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So you were supposed to spend 1, so you technically earned 1
Okay.
trust.
Great. That brought me back to 5.
Okay.
You're still full up on trust.
I am esteemed
Yes.
for
Excellent.
now.
Oddly, with all of this behavior, so am I.
All right. So yeah, what has our new crew member been doing?
So I have shed some of the outer layers. I have my pack set up in one place. There's like a little like auto deploy foam mat, that's because you said there's no bed or anything in there, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've put out this mat. There's like a little space blanket there because we're in space. So all blankets are space blankets.
True.
Yeah. And I've deployed like half a dozen little like dime-sized sensors around the room just because I've been paranoid and on my own for so long. Like it's when you're camping in the wilderness or in a strange spaceship, it's, just feels like basic,
Yeah.
being careful.
It also seems like even though Jonas is like, here's our home, it also seems like Jonas doesn't know a lot about his home.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff here. This is a really big ship, and they're like, oh, there's some stuff here and there, and we're not really sure what all that does. So it's like definitely like danger vibes happening too.
We live in a haunted house.
Basically, yeah.
And we just went, don't worry about the ghosts.
Yeah, it's
An
fine.
enormous haunted house.
So there was a flurry of very specific pointed activity that each thing had a purpose and a method that it's a thing that he's done a million times of like fit, like put these sensors up, roll the mat out. He doesn't have to put the tent up, which is nice. Like we could just, but then it's done and he's standing there like literally standing in the middle of the room, not sure what to do. And then goes through a few iterations of like grabs a piece of paper and a pen, like literal paper and pen, and is like writing furiously and then stops and writes and then it's like crosses out and then writes something like then just leaves that on the floor for a second and doesn't have a lot of room to pace, but takes 3 good steps and then turns around and comes back and looks at the paper and kicks the pen and is like flustered, visibly flustered. There's no one here to see him, and it's like his crest is all the way up and then back down, and he like puts it back down. He's like, no, and then it just sort of like creeps back up. But he's going through this he's incredibly frustrated and just like visibly is like having practice conversations in his head and is muttering like, and it's like does some sort of strange bow. He's like, oh, stupid. So, but it's that montage of
Nice.
not knowing what to do.
Yeah. Awesome.
I love it.
Very good. All right. We're gonna kind of like skip forward just a little bit of time because I figure like we can keep like this awkward avoiding each other clear
Oh yeah.
situation for like a few hours, and then it's probably time to eat again at some point.
I've been preparing a meal.
Yeah.
Oh god.
And it's for everybody.
Oh god.
So.
Family dinner.
But somebody's gonna have to come tell me.
Oh yeah. No, totally. I think I'll prepare a number of dishes. Hopefully that everybody will like.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of set a portion aside for Tavrock, and I try to figure out like, is Tavrock gonna come eat with us, or do we have to bring this over to the forest? And then I'll just set that aside for now, put a cover on it, and make sure that it's good temperature controlled, and then I'll ping everybody to head on out. I'll actually walk to your quarters, knock on your door.
Yeah. Door slides open. I'm there in the like trousers and just the like barest undershirt.
Sure, yeah.
And there's the like folded paper and pen, but it's now like neatly diagonal on the paper and in one corner, and the boots are lined up, and I'm in these like ship shoes, the like just soft kind of runners.
Sure.
And I have like one, it's not the shirt I came in wearing. There's one sort of crisp ivory shirt that's, laid out, because I guess I probably don't have hooks or anything either, right? It's like just a closet.
It's
essentially.
basically, a storage room or something.
I said, I'm sorry, I wasn't sure what the proper attire would be.
I look, you're in your undershirt, right?
Yeah.
I look at you and I'm like, that's just fine.
Oh,
You be comfy.
that's kind of you. So it's not, what would you say, tie and jacket?
Oh Lord, no, we are far from formal here. No, we
see.
it's just come as you are. Again, we're here to enjoy a meal together. Be comfortable.
Thank you.
I'll
be along directly.
All right. Just down the corridor. Follow the little red streaks on the wall, and that should lead you to the mess hall.
Of course. Okay.
All right. And I head on over and make sure everything is set.
And then I've got, I close the door, I get that shirt, I do put it on, button it all the way up as if I'm going to put on a tie, and then, oh, never mind, I don't need that very top button. And then I kind of look at I pull up my device to get like a selfie image of like, and then I undo one more button.
Okay.
Casual.
Yeah.
Casual.
Yeah. But then I put on the cufflinks. They're not actually fancy, but they have the Ranger insignia, which he's clearly proud of like, this is his commission. He is an officer and did not come from officer blood. So that is actually him preening that 99% of the galaxy would not get, but there is one person on this ship who would.
Yeah.
So that's how he heads out to dinner.
Nice.
And actually, I'm gonna seek out Nolvath next. Little fairy.
June bug. Yeah.
And where are you at this point, Nolvath? Where do I find you?
I don't know if you find them. I think after they talk to Rode, they would probably go check on the science project.
Oh, okay.
Oh god,
You have
that's
not,
right.
Yeah, you have not received any notifications yet.
That's fine and not
Yeah,
complicated
totally,
at all.
Yeah.
No.
So
Not messy.
I'll be right back.
In that case, I'll send you a message just asking you to meet somewhere before going to the mess hall.
Okay.
Um,
They'd probably tell you in the forest because they've got to pick up Tavrock.
okay, sure. Actually, you know what? If that's the case, I'll run back to the galley and pick up that dish that I put together for Tavrock and I'll walk over to the forest with you, and to the forest to find you. And I say, hey, Nolvath, I will trust your judgment on this. I trust Alistair to understand our situation with Tavrock. I'd sort of planned this meal for everybody, a little chance for us to sit around and maybe get a little more comfortable with one another.
Yes. We do not have any concerns that he will harm Tavrock.
Oh, all right, all right. Well, in that case, I brought this just in case you felt otherwise. But if you feel all right, I'd gladly have the little guy at our table.
We have been gone. I think Tavrock would like to share the meal with us.
All right, then. Let's go.
Right. So you go get. You're checking on your things first.
Yeah.
You realize that when you get there, the sensors have not gone off. But you are seeing definite differences when you're looking at the cryopods. So some of them are functional, even though the beings in them had passed away.
Yeah.
And they kind of. When you looked at that one where the one living being was still in there,
Yeah.
you couldn't very well see it. It sort of had like, you don't know if it was frost or whatever on the inside where it was hard to kind of see through. That is cleared away.
Oh.
So you can see like they're still like motionless. You can tell they're still like very much in some sort of deep sleep, but the environment inside the cryopod has changed enough that it's like slowly, clearly like thawing them or whatever the process is.
Okay.
So you can have just a clear look at them now.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do they look like?
It looks like it's hard to tell. You can't tell if it's like male or female. So you're looking at it. They're very large, humanoid at this point. It looks like on like their torso, like kind of where our ribs are, there are sort of small like remnants of what probably used to be their little legs.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But they look sort of like they're not really functional looking anymore. They kind of like are just kind of folded there. You can't tell if they have like control of them or what. And then the same very clear like exoskeleton type as Tavrock, but again like a very deep purple color.
Okay.
And face is sort of like humanoid-esque, but it does have what you see now a little bit like eye stalks.
Okay.
I don't know how to describe it any better, but if you read the Animorphs books as a kid,
God, yeah.
like the Ada, what are they are the whatever the alien species is that kind of looks like a deer, like the head, like where it's like humanoid and it's got eyes, but then it also has like eye stalks.
Oh, okay.
So it has both. It's still like sort of streamlined and sort of elegant looking in a little bit of a strange way.
Cool.
So this very much solidifies like, yes, this is the same kind of species as Tavrock is.
Awesome. What did my like devices pick up as far as
Adelaide,
readings?
there you go. Thank you. People in chat. Thank you. Adelaide, yes.
As far as like vital readings, can I get any information with my equipment?
Yeah, it's starting to. It doesn't have like a heartbeat quite yet.
Okay.
But it's definitely, you're still reading that it is alive in stasis, but it's slowly, you're starting to see more functions. You're getting more readings now.
Okay. So it still has life signs and they're increasing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. I will leave the sensor here. So it lets me know when my buddy is defrosted.
When he thawed, go on.
And then I'll go to the forest to meet Jonas and Tavrock.
Okay. So you're there already, Jonas?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll say yeah. And then, I just, I ask about whether you're comfortable bringing Tavrock along, and
Yeah.
it seems like everything's all right.
Yeah, we're gonna have you like you're in there and like Tavrock's sitting there,
Oh,
like
sure.
on the and like like shining things at you.
And I can't shine anything back.
Yeah.
I can't, yeah. You know what? I start maybe trying to like communicate with hand gestures.
Okay.
Like I point to Tavrock and I point to the plate that I'm holding, and then I point to my mouth and then I point to Tavrok's mouth. Like, you want to come eat with us, basically. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how to communicate with this little crab creature.
So Tavrok starts coming over and he starts trying to climb your clothing to get up to the bowl. So
okay,
he
all right.
starts like, and it's sort of, he does it sort of in that way of like a toddler who's like not thinking about personal space or not asking, just like climbing up to bowl. Okay, so like he starts climbing up you and like he kind of like stops on your shoulder, and if you're holding a bowl, he kind of like tries to climb down your arm.
Okay, I kind of like put my hand on Tavrok, like, no, just stay right there. And then I switch hands. I put the bowl like a little closer. I take the lid off, and I start just seeing if Tavrok likes the meal.
Oh yeah,
He starts like picking away at it.
yeah. He starts like doing a little
things. Or they start a little. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And I think that's how you find us.
Great, I love
Actually,
that.
all that, like, oh, hey, there you are. Dinner is served, and I basically ask you.
Tavrok flashes like a little bit like sad at you.
Aw.
Yeah, and then like the color for Jonas can't talk.
Oh, that's so sad.
It's very
that is
sad that
sad.
Jonas can't talk.
Does it seem like Tavrok can hear? Well, yeah, because they heard the like tapping sounds.
Yeah, like they definitely, but I don't know if they have a concept of like language
yeah.
like, in a spoken way that way.
Right. Okay.
I'm just making incomprehensible noises. Yeah.
Just
yeah,
honking.
I think
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Woof, woof.
Nolvath does like say what they mean while they flash colors. So if they do have like a concept for language, eventually it'll start to like filter in,
Yeah.
but definitely not yet.
Yeah.
So they'll just flash back like, yes, that is very sad.
Yeah, and for all you know, maybe Tavrok will be able to eventually participate in speech. We don't know. Tavrok may not know because they don't know any adults of their kind.
No. Yeah, not yet.
Not yet.
Terrifying.
Soon?
So scary.
Yeah. All right, so dinner is served.
Yeah. When you all arrive, you see that I found sort of a modest sized table, just enough for all four of us to fit with enough space comfortably. And I've actually like set places. And there's a little, I'm going to say that there wasn't specifically a chair that was the right size, but I pulled a crate over that Tavrok can like sit on so that they're at the level of the table.
Cute.
And you see that I've put place settings and everything, and I usher you in first, Nolvath, because we walked in together, right? I take Tavrok, I put them down on the crate, put the bowl in front of them, they can keep on eating, and I'll start going into the kitchen and pulling stuff out, like starting, just start laying things out for everybody, hoping.
What is Jonas's rank?
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant.
Yeah. It's a pretty impressive spread. There's like a little bit of everything for everybody, hopefully. And so when you come in, whenever you all come in, everything should kind of be ready and set. And I just point to the table and say, hey, dig on in.
Lieutenant, you have outdone yourself. I will never disparage the meals we shared in the mud. What you were able to prepare there was incredible. And of course, everything tastes better when you eat outdoors. But this is incredible.
Well, I appreciate it. I've had some time to refine my culinary skills. And that is indeed sort of one of the benefits to being a freelancer is getting to choose what you make. I suppose one of the benefits of being a ship like this is that you can find some pretty interesting things if you just have the gumption to poke around.
That is fascinating. I'm sure I'll take some time to look around later.
Excellent. Yeah, feel free. If you want some company, I'd happily show you what we know about. Maybe some of the things we don't. I noticed there have been a few lights that seem to have come on since we were last here and all that. Do you know anything about that?
Yes. We have found that Tavrok is able to interface with the computer in a way that we are not. So we have been able to uncover some additional functions in the ship.
Wait a minute. Am I meeting Nolvath for the first time?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And Tavrok.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you describe Nolvath for me again?
So Nolvath is probably almost as tall as you. Very like slender, willowy, kind of like opalescent skin as like a default. And they have kind of like kelp-like mane of hair, kind of like smooth, almost amphibian face, with full black eyes, and they have like kind of a long, almost like newt-like tail.
Okay, so like a sea monster.
Yeah, a little bit of a sea monster.
Okay.
But like almost like if you found like an anthropomorphic newt that lived like underground in a deep cave.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
The deep sea newt.
Yeah.
Deep sea newt.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense, actually. Yes. I've gamed with Samantha enough to know.
The aesthetic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks native to like a glowworm cave.
Sure. Yeah. All right.
And when you kind of like are first introduced to them, they like kind of blink like sort of passive faced at you, and then you get a little bit of like head tilt. The like sizing you up head tilt. Just for like a second.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am Alistair Ward, and I'm like, I do like a quick assessment of like species culture, like tick 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 tick. Hand?
or file not found.
Yeah.
You don't know what they are.
Right. I'm gonna default to handshake. That like I'm not afraid to touch you. Is my body language.
Yeah. They'll reach out their hand and go,
Okay.
We are pleased to meet you. We are Nolvath of the Nimilid.
I see. The two of you are Nolvath?
No, this is Tavrok.
I see.
Those of you listening, only it's little like crab claw.
Have I
welcome.
ever come across a Tavrok species?
Not in this form, at least. Definitely. not.
Okay. All right.
I'll actually turn to you and I'll clarify. Nolvath here is from a Havmand.
Well, that's fascinating. Are you still in contact with them here?
No, we are much too far from our planet to be in contact with them, so we have been disconnected for quite some time.
Oh, I'm sorry?
Thank you.
Okay.
They look kind of like, yes, sorry, but also like, we don't know anything else, so is what it is.
Yep. So, like so much unsaid, like the dead air in the room is so good.
And I think
love
with
it.
that dead air, you hear the door open.
Yep.
And in the doorway, in the polar opposite of what Jonas has described as the attire for this meal, Rode is wearing a like knee-length robe with like beautiful textiles and then like a waistcoat layered underneath it and a giant ridiculous cravat and just like tiers of like fabric spilling out from the cuffs of this robe. Just for the crew of the Amber Star, this is more than I think you've ever seen him dressed up unless we were on a very, very nice planet. He is dressed up. And there's a hand to some of his things that you've noticed at this point, like things that are definitely like older for him that are probably Pyronin, and especially after meeting Alistair, like you can kind of probably piece even more of that together. This is actually like Pyronin clothes. He is dressed for dinner. And he has a tray in hand, balanced delicately on his claws, of a wine in a full decanter, and a set of very nice, specific, beautiful glasses that I don't think any of you have ever seen before, because he just pulls things out of his quarters that no one ever goes in. So the only person on the crew that's been in there isn't here. So he comes in. Smells delicious, Joe.
I turn to you and I see how fancily you're dressed, and I say, well, I mean, you said I was a good cook, but I did not quite expect that it would merit this.
I thought I would dress according to Alistair's rank and give him the respect that he deserves for his appointment.
really wasn't necessary. Although, like, if you thought Alistair was standing up straight before, there's like a click, like his back pops, and then in a moment where you're like maybe putting wine glasses down,
Yeah,
it's okay
so-
if either of you are looking at Alistair, but the moment your back is turned, he does up that extra button. Not all the way up, not like the choker button, but that one at the top.
Yeah.
I was told it was a casual affair.
Of course, it's fine. It's not fine. It's fine.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm sorry. I'm so used to carrying it that I just unhooked my scabbard and, I don't know, coat hook, probably.
Yeah, there's probably someplace you
Yeah.
can like rest it aside. Yeah.
Actually, why don't we give it the station that it also deserves? And goes to the
really
the
not
counter where
necessary.
it should be like a cafe line or something like that, and literally finds like napkins to lay out or something ridiculous like that.
It's really not necessary.
It's a beautiful sword.
Thank you. It's like so much I can't say.
I say, well, dinner is served once again. Please sit down. I gesture to a couple of chairs for you, and then I rethink it, and I gesture to chairs with at least like one other chair apart between the two of you.
You put Tavrock between us.
Sure.
That would be
Yeah.
horrible.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. Well, no. I mean, Tavrock should
Yeah.
sit by Nolvath. So
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, so essentially we're kind of at a round table. I guess we're kind of almost in cardinal directions, like
Sure.
point, facing one another. Tavrock's close to you. And I start just serving everybody a dish.
Probably worst case is being directly opposite each other.
Yeah, and I think we're closest to that as well, which is
Yeah.
very fun.
Yep. Yep. Okay.
Jonas was never the smart one.
No, he doesn't do battle planning
Sure.
dinner arrangement.
Yeah. Right.
That was the kind of stuff your mother would do.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
I imagine there's probably like a moment of silence as we all kind of just dig into our meal. And I'll turn to you, Alistair, and I'll say, so, hey, Ranger, you have commissioned our ship. What is your next desired destination?
Well, the good news is I don't actually need to alter your destination. If we can get close enough to the space station in this system, I can transmit my report, and then I am in the wind until I receive an update of where I should be headed. And if you don't mind me tagging along for a short period until I receive an assignment, I would be more than happy to accompany you. And of course, what was it your man said? Pull my own weight on the ship.
Yes, speaking of this, how do you two know one another? What a strange connection.
Well, there was an operation on the name of a planet. And
Galifax 5.
thank you. I could never pronounce that correctly.
Well, it wasn't exactly made for your tongues necessarily. It was a holdover from an older language.
But the Pyronin military and his found a common cause, and we had to operate together. I
Oh, did you?
found myself in having the opportunity to distinguish myself behind enemy lines. However, the lieutenant here is responsible for my making it back from behind enemy lines, which I very nearly didn't. So, to the lieutenant.
I take one of your glasses of wine and I clink it to always making it back alive.
Well, I'll drink to that.
Rode takes a long look at his glass and looks at Alistair like dead on. And if Alistair is looking, it's probably one of the very first times that on purpose Rode has met his gaze.
Mm.
To being alive.
I'll drink to that as well.
Throws it back.
Yeah, I think I finished my glass.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
this complicated, intense.
I managed to just get the wine to my lips and then see you two toss it back, and I'm like, oop, I'm just
Okay.
all right. I'm gonna need to nurse this one through the meal, I think.
Yeah.
I actually turn to the two of you and I kind of expand on it and I say, yeah, Alistair here is one of the few folks who'd seen the inside of Trini's rather cramped cargo bay, especially for someone your size.
It was a tight fit, but we made it work.
We can barely fit my bag in there.
Well, I'm quite flexible.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. At the very least, I'm glad that my baby was able to provide you with some shielding. That was not an easy flight.
No, but worth it in the end. And I would say the success earned us both some commendation. Well, I wouldn't have traded the experience for a world.
You know, likewise. It's rather nice having someone of rank here on the ship. I'd been away from it for a while, and you being here now, I must say I do miss it. I do miss my old days of service.
I have appreciated the opportunities it has afforded me in this life. And making eye contact with everyone except right, desperately. Right, Tavrock?
Tavrock, you understand.
You get it, right?
Nolvath catches your eye and they're like, Alistair, we have heard that you have some skill in stealth.
It seems to have been a talent. It's why I had some success on the battlefield and have continued to operate in this capacity for my government.
Ah, excellent. We generally do not have much competition in that area from our compatriots.
Do you
I'm a
really?
master of subtlety.
Not that
Like
kind
actually.
of subtle. Perhaps you would care a friendly game with us in one of our forests while you are here.
I do want to make sure I understand the cultural norms that could be at stake with your use of those words. I'm unfamiliar with your culture.
Certainly. A friendly platonic test of skills.
Non-deadly.
Non-deadly.
Not requiring shedding of blood.
No shedding
I
of blood.
have no desire to... Okay,
We do not wish to battle you. You would know.
very good. Yes, well... Yep. I would return the honor by informing you if I needed to challenge you.
That is appreciated. Our natural predators usually do not give that honor.
Oh. And what sort of place do you come from?
We come from Zalara. It is quite far, and you probably have not.
I have not heard of
encountered
it.
Most cultures do not visit it. The surface is dominated by megafauna,
Oh.
rather deadly megafauna. The flora is also not particularly friendly to most life forms.
This is fascinating.
This is why we live underground. The hive is deep underground. So we, by necessity, developed very good stealth capabilities.
But I can understand why somebody might emigrate from such a place.
We will go back eventually, or hope to.
Tavrock has finished their bowl and they could move like on to the next person's plate and they're just sort of eating off of that plate.
Oh, could that be my plate? Because I would be so uncomfortable and not know what to do.
Yeah.
I actually think that Rogue starts watching this happen.
Yeah,
And also says literally nothing.
yeah. I just sort of slide the plate over at this point because I'm not gonna eat it.
I get up
Like
quietly.
away from Tavrock?
No,
Or
two.
towards- oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm done with it.
I get up and I look at you know. I'll just give you a look that says I'm gonna get you another one of those. Start
would
grabbing,
be
walk out, grab a bowl, and I'll start reserving a portion for you too.
I would never deny the young one. And I'm sort of looking at everyone like,
Correct.
I'm shrugging along with it. I'm like, oh.
They did come out of an egg. Recently?
Oh,
Apparently that's where children come from.
Some do.
I suppose we'd have to have a conversation about that.
I know generally where they come from. Just... They come from eggs here on this ship.
Hmm. On the ship,
Yes.
there are eggs on the ship?
Yes.
Quite a few. And,
Cryopods.
Interesting. But you say you haven't had it long.
Ooh.
no, not long at all. I mean, long enough to get comfortable in here, I suppose.
We
Wow.
have been here for a very long time.
My curiosity is piqued. How long would you think you've been here?
It's difficult to calculate. We were alone with the robots for quite some time before the crew arrived.
The maintenance robots?
Correct.
I see.
At least years.
Interesting.
Tavrock is done with your plate and is kind of looking at you expectantly.
Uh-oh.
It starts flashing colors at you.
Interesting.
Nolvath flashes a color for Alistair.
Mm-hmm.
Alistair flashes color.
Okay, flash.
Probably like yellow and like white for your coloring.
Cute.
Oh, I see. Will you please explain to it that I do not have a chromatic communication technique?
Certainly.
It's something I've had trouble to master.
It flashes at Tavrock. He can't talk either.
There are many forms of communication that you're quite good at.
That's true. And I've acquired 8 or 9 languages since then. It's not difficult when you apply yourself and don't have much else to do.
Well,
Tavrock looks at Nolvath and flashes danger question mark. Like Tavrock is feeling this. I don't know what to do about this.
No, awkward.
He comes back, he leaves the plates and comes and like kind of sits next to you on the table.
It's
I
okay.
have a huge sigh of relief as I get into the second plate of food. I'm like, it's not that I don't, like, his body language is not dislike of Tavrock,
no.
but like, I don't have any context for this social encounter, and it's already awkward.
Nolvath shares their plate with
they're-
Tavrock.
Tavrock's like slowly eating, like carefully, like still not really buying that there's no danger. Like
something's
something's
wrong.
weird at this table, and I'm little and don't know what it is. But
Nolvath
no.
flashes, I will protect you.
Yeah. Okay. It's
Oh.
okay. Okay. They kind of relax and start eating a little faster.
Rode, I turn to you and I say, well, since we don't necessarily have a destination in mind, would you two be up for finding a little bit more civilization?
I love civilization.
Well, that?
We are fascinated with civilization.
All right. I'll do some scans of the nearby systems and access points via jump gate, and I'll find someplace. Now, you said a space station. Anything in particular you're looking for?
The jump station, anything with long-range communication facilities that I can backpack a signal on, and aside from that, I am at your mercy. You don't need to make any decisions with me in mind.
Well. I mean, that would be very inhospitable of us now.
I'm happy to go where the ship is going.
All right. Oh, and by the way, I told the portmaster down below that we were headed in a particular direction. My intention is to head on the very opposite direction of where I mentioned.
Yes.
Naturally.
Alistair, you might want to know we're being hunted by a giant race that wants to, I don't know, use us as toothpicks.
How did you find yourselves in this kind of trouble?
We ended up picking up one of theirs.
All right.
That is our other crew member who is, by the way, not going to be joining us for a little while.
Oh, I just assumed he was going to find his way up here.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I'm sure that Lawrence will show up when we least expect it.
Yes, there's two of them.
We are perhaps more skilled at that.
Mm.
Does not explain.
At that moment, this high-pitched beeping sound starts coming from near Nolvath.
Oh,
No, that's your beeping.
yes, the sensor has notified us that our experiment is finished.
I'm sorry, what?
Are you experimenting on the cows again?
No.
Oh,
Gets up to leave.
but
Are we in danger?
Take
Don't.
Stavrock with me.
I don't think she'd be. Well, one, I don't think that Nolvath. I don't think they would be as calm as dealing with this as calm as they would be if we were.
I
in
do.
danger.
They don't strike me as particularly emotive.
Yeah, but they are also visible at this point, and if there was danger, I would probably lose sight of them faster than I would
The
like.
chameleon.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
Fascinating.
And two, I don't know if they would pick up that young one and bring them towards the danger, if that were the case.
you're right, because these Tavrocks are not equipped from birth to fight.
Doesn't seem like it.
There's so many question marks behind that sentence.
Rode, I think maybe we should follow Nolvath and see what's going on. Alistair?
I mean, I'd be happy to accompany you if there's any risk of danger. I am more than happy to, as I said, pull my weight on the ship.
Well, it's not gonna be like flying from enemy lines, but I think at the very least you're gonna find some interesting stuff around here.
Do I have time to grab my sidearm?
Of course you do.
All right.
I mean, your quarters are really close.
Right,
so
right,
you'll
yeah, I
run past it.
Jog
yeah.
down the hall and come
Yeah,
back
yeah,
with the sidearm and put my sword back
Yeah.
on. And yeah.
I think when you come back in, Rode is holding the sword for you.
Oh,
Ooh.
thank you. You really don't have to.
It's the least I could do. Honestly.
I think there's the first thaw of like the eyebrow ridge of like, well, thank you. And yeah, put that on the belt and and also comes back with again, like his sleeves rolled up.
Yeah! Rode does not adjust. He looks like a flouncy French fop.
Perfect. Perfect.
Fabric like trailing after
Yes.
you as we
Yeah.
we trot towards wherever Nolvath is leading us.
Yes.
As we're walking, by the way, I say, hey, I couldn't help but hear that Nolvath made a little challenge for you.
Indeed. Well, I think we're to hide and attempt to find the other.
I just want to let you know that is going to be a tougher game on you.
Well, it is interesting to know that they can become invisible.
Yeah.
And I appreciate having that knowledge ahead of time.
Yeah, they are. They're really something else. And I continue my way down the corridor.
You work together long?
No, not really. Not really. No, not at all. In fact, we're fairly new to one another. There is much about them that I do not know.
Interesting.
I don't know if I quite have that depth within me, but I certainly they've gotten me out of scrapes.
Well,
And
as a student of planetary sciences at this point, I am absolutely fascinated by what they've described so far. I look forward to learning more.
yeah, you and me both. Road, are you
Right behind you.
You're right behind. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. And Nolvath, you're leading us to.
They're gonna drop Tavrock off first, just in case the experiment went bad.
Okay.
They don't want
Yeah.
him to see that.
Yeah.
And then, just make their way to the cryo base.
Mm-hmm.
You're experimenting in the forest?
No, Tavrock stays here when unattended.
And that works.
Yes, it is naturally designed as sort of a nursery for them.
Children go in a forest.
Yes, their shells initially come from the acorns
Right.
from the
yes.
trees.
Yes, I did know this.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
Lead on.
And I take it as we approach, like, there are more lights now, right?
A
Certainly
lot more
than
lights.
we've
Yeah,
seen.
we've been in here before.
As we're like running, I trot a little faster to catch up with you, and I say, Nolvath, I don't know what you've been up to since we were down on Baco, but Baco, what was Baco 4?
Yeah.
Baco 4. But what exactly is all this happening? I don't think I've ever seen the Amber Star this alive.
Oh, no, this is the arrival protocol.
The what?
Tavrak was assisting us in investigating which additional functions of the computer we could unlock. And in the cryopods, he was able to activate the arrival procedure for a specific small amount of the pods.
As you start to explain this, you see Rode begin to count on his fingers from 7 down. Species. Again. There's still at least one unaccounted for species on this ship.
Correct, but not in the pods that are affected by the arrival protocol currently.
Fine.
How long have these people slept?
Unknown.
A very long time.
Well, all right.
So as you walk into this like massive giant like hangar that has pods on like both sides, you notice that there's like about 20 of them that have these new lights specifically. Like there's other lights, but they haven't been. And just as you walk in, a bunch of them like they all kind of like their lids like kind of decompress and they like automatically lift. Now all of them are either long, desiccated, like skeleton sort of mummies, or empty. Like there's none like that are gross because they've been like really. And then there's the one that Nolvath, like it's up near the top. So I don't know if the rest of you can see, but it like has like the person in it, and that one also opens up. And like so far nothing's really happening.
Every single time one pops, Rode like winces, and by the time like anyone is actually close to it, he is so far behind because this is where the monsters come from.
I think they go over to the terminal. If you would like to wait here, we will take the disc up.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm going to be back here by the thinking pod.
If there's room on the disc, I will step up with you.
You can also claw the pod down if you want it.
Oh.
We want to go up there in case it's yucky.
Okay.
We don't want to subject everyone to that.
Okay.
Do you have a concept of yucky?
Oh yeah, it's way yuckier than yours.
Okay. Got it. Love it.
On brand.
Correct.
Okay, all right, yeah, I'll step up. I'm not gonna unsheath my blaster, but I am gonna unclip my fighting sticks, just in case. Hoping to not use them, but
Yeah.
be ready to deploy them just in case.
All right. So you go up there and you see it looks pretty much just like it did, but now the lid is opened. You do see that there's like some readings on the screen next to it. And yeah, you're able to approach. Nothing at this point is yucky.
Okay, great. Take some like life sign readings with my equipment so I can understand it completely.
Yeah. It is alive, but like very weak life signs.
Okay.
Very weak.
I'm gonna just have my blaster out, pointed at the floor, but I'm also decidedly between that and where Rode is.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And I can see what's in there now, right?
Rhoda, I'm gonna have you roll read a being to see if you notice
Oh.
that Alistair is like putting themselves between you and possible danger.
I'm not good at hiding stuff, so.
Well, also Rhoda's not good at noticing stuff.
That's true.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
true.
it's really rough here.
Got it.
Perfect match.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm rolling at a flat 0.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an 8.
Oh, okay. So ask some questions. So you get to pick one.
Ooh.
Which list?
The
Read a
read a
being.
being.
Oh, read a being. Thank you.
I think the question that he keeps on thinking over and over and over again is, what do you want? Because that's always his question. It's always been the question.
Road. There's no other way to say it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he just kind of soaks that in and stops looking at the alien and starts looking at your back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because in this moment, all the pretense is gone, and it makes sense that that would just come through.
Yeah.
Because all the there's no time for posturing right now. Like something could come leaping out of there.
Yeah.
Just ran into you after all this time. Just been fucking around, wasting time, and now this is happening.
Perfect. So yeah, up above, like you're reading like very weak life signs.
Okay.
And as you approach, you see like it's got like what looks sort of like a neck brace. But as you get closer, it's sort of transparent, and it's actually more like a breathing mask. And you realize it's sort of like reverse scuba. Like it has some like gills on its neck, and it's actually kind of like keeping it moist there for it, like the pod in stasis.
Interesting.
And you see for the first time, like it's actually like filled it with like moisture. It's trying to make it easier for it to breathe.
Okay.
And you can see like it's like kind of gasping, but it's not gasping through its mouth.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to like get close to see it kind of going.
Gurgle.
Yeah.
Oh.
And just very, very weak kind of like life signs. But as you get closer, like one of its extra little eye stalks kind of like it's the eyes on its like on its face are still closed, but one of the eye sockets kind of like goes and kind of looks at you. Like it kind of turns and looks at you sort of weakly. And then it pulls back. Like you can see just like Tavrock when he's afraid, like it kind of like pulls its eye sockets back.
So they'll flash the colors for like hello and help.
Oh, okay. Like there's a little bit of like a pause for a minute, almost like when you first turn on like fluorescent lights and they take a second to like turn on, and you can see it sort of starts to glow, but it's very, very, very faint on its on the same sort of pattern Tavrock has, and it flashes you like a greeting, but like with like a bit of confusion, and then it flashes like time.
It's long time. Unknown.
It like slowly kind of moves, and it like kind of reaches up, and it sort of like pulls off the respirator thing around its neck. And then it does speak like through its mouth, even though you can tell it's breathing in through its like modified gills here. What? When is it?
Oh. And they'll tell them the year or whatever our like
Yeah.
date system is.
Star date.
Yeah.
Start date.
Yeah.
The numbers.
Now I have a question for the group that we have to decide. Did we start numbering things after like the fall, or did we continue with the number system from before
Earth
the fall?
is barely a.
No, that's like that's like that's probably like a couple numbering systems ago.
Okay.
We're way far gone
Okay.
from that.
So which fall are we? Sorry, I missed that part.
Like like in the last like few generations. So this is like probably 6 or so generations from like a major fall of like galactic civilization. So we've built back up enough. We've scavenged. We've kind of like taken off again. But do you think we would start renumbering from then, or do you think we would have kept numbering?
I think we might have kept numbering.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, there are probably different numbering systems still among the various cultures. and
Maybe
stuff, so.
maybe the Pyronans kept numbering.
Yeah.
I take it back,
Yeah.
actually.
Okay, that makes sense.
I think the humans that I know of would have restarted.
They're like a
Yeah.
BC.
Yeah,
Kinda-
yeah.
It's like an
yeah,
indicator
exactly.
of
Yeah.
a big event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say maybe like we generally call it like post reconstruction
PR.
PR.
Yeah, there you go.
Sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Or just R.
Yeah.
Actually.
Oh yeah, we're in the
Yeah.
reconstruction now.
Yeah. So maybe R. I don't know. Like how many years would it have been?
Long time.
Yeah.
Maybe RE Reconstruction Era.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
RE 's
There we
good.
go. RE. I like that. Okay. All right. RE. But yeah, how many? It's been a while since the fall. Then, right?
Yeah.
Would you say like at least a few generations?
Yeah, like somewhere around 6, but humanish
I
generation.
would say human generation.
Yeah.
So like we're talking
Yeah.
like my mom's age.
Yeah, so there may be people in some species who remember it and have built
Yeah.
back, and been part of building back.
Okay.
Yes.
That's like 300 or 400 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
within. That's well within
Yeah.
the Ronin lifespan.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe that's why they just kept numbering.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Do I recognize the species from anything in our databases?
Roll access knowledge.
Okay.
Let's go.
Can this fall under my scouting ability that uses courage instead of brains?
No.
I'm pretty stressed out.
Yeah, but
I mean, not because of the species, but
yeah.
3 and 6 is 9. Wait a minute. That's 6 or 5? That's 6. Plus brains,
Yes.
so 8.
Okay.
God, I love a negative.
All right. On a 7 and 9, you succeed, but something unexpected happens. You and another crewmate each mark a condition.
Okay.
So you do get your knowledge, though. I'm gonna say you've heard of a species like this. You've never seen one yourself,
Right.
but this is something, especially being Pyronin, since some information is transferred from before. Like this is like someone saying they saw like a dodo bird,
Right.
or something that is like I saw a dinosaur
Yeah,
yesterday.
or a caveman, or
Yeah. Something like that is supposed to have been gone for a long time. It's sort of like, I'm gonna liken it to like Atlantis. So like where there's like myths and of this like long, gone civilization that had these incredible technologies and abilities, and did all this stuff, and everybody like blames but also gives them credit for other things. Like, oh, some of them have like the ancient aliens like conspiracies, like they seeded the galaxy with life, and probably not, but like, so it's sort of that nature.
Sure.
And like the descriptions from that sort of match like kind of what you're seeing. Like you wouldn't have recognized it looking at Tavrock because he's like little crab. But like now that you're kind of looking around at some of these desiccated remains and like the technology in this ship, you're like,
Did you have a name in mind?
sure. They are we're just gonna call them the Anari.
Okay. Is that with an I at the front?
An A. Anari. We haven't used that name in this game, right?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
I like it.
I've been running a lot of this game lately, so I keep using the same name list, and now I'm like, oh, okay.
I've used all the names.
so
No,
many
You
times.
can reuse them.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry to pull you under the bus with me, but
Oh,
can it be Road
it's
who has
gotta
to
be.
mark the condition
Of
as
course, it
well? Okay,
has to be.
because I'm going to turn back. Suddenly we're standing closer than I realized as
Yeah.
well.
Also, I think Road did step closer with
Oh,
the realization.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, oh. And it can't be an Anari.
That's not possible.
Did you learn, like, my education was different from yours. Do you know more about them?
I know nothing about most, it turns out, things that most people know.
It was a fairy tale. He just, like, skips right
and
over
that,
the, like,
and that part he knows.
yeah. I don't know how to I'm just gonna holster my weapon as well because I'm sort of like thinking and waving it. I'm like, oh no, that's not safe. Like,
I
put
think
that
with
away.
that exchange, I'm gonna mark afraid
Okay.
because seeing you uncertain
Yeah.
is very scary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't have high brains, but I have a high level of like I am briefed when I go somewhere,
Yeah, yeah,
and I have a lot of like specific type of knowledge, but you know that's yeah. Lieutenant Nolvath, this is I believe a member of the Inari. Can you ask them?
Sure.
What are you like way up high?
Yeah,
we're
there?
way up
Yeah.
high.
Okay, so I'll raise my voice a little bit so you can hear me. And like I believe this might be a member of the Inari.
Oh. Realizes they should introduce themselves. And is like, we are Nolvath of the Nimilid. This is Lieutenant Jonas of the humans.
Yep.
Yep.
Give a salute.
They kind of weakly kind of try and sit up, but then kind of like give up halfway and like lay back down. And then they flash what seems like a formal greeting, and then like some sort of like title, but it's sort of a strange like mix of colors. It's sort of like they're absent-minded, like they're trying to be formal about
Snotty.
it, but they're super busy with a bunch of
Yeah.
other thoughts too that are kind of like coming in, and then they flash like to touch the data pad that's like on top, like the side, the
Oh,
one that you've
okay.
kind of been looking at.
Yeah.
And then they want you to kind of relay what it says because they can't sit up and read it.
Okay. I mean, I'll touch it and read it as best I can.
Yeah, I'm gonna have you roll. I'm also gonna have you roll access knowledge as well.
Okay.
It's the Nolvath roll.
Yep.
Since Lord knows I shouldn't do it.
We shall see.
Oh, what's the fun of not rolling your -1?
That's not my -1,
Oh, boy.
hilariously.
Okay.
Oh my
God!
We got 2-1.
What a time!
Wow.
Perfect.
Yes. The dice. No.
The dice
Wow.
join it. Hey, at least it's doubles.
They said no.
That's true.
Yeah. You touch the pad, and then at the same time they kind of like reach their hand out and touch it as well. And the same sort of thing like when Tavrock touched things and things lit up. It seems to have some sort of like connection with their DNA or something.
Okay.
So you touch it and suddenly all this information starts like scrolling on the pad, and it's this weird combination of the symbols that you've been seeing, but then the symbols flash in different colors. So it's almost like an interesting like 3-dimensional language where there's like symbols that mean something and then meanings within that based on what colors they are.
Interesting.
And it changes too. So it's just like this, even for you, an overwhelming amount of data that's just like,
Yeah.
yeah. And then they kind of like flash you like sort of like similar to like what Tavrock did, like you can't read.
Oh no.
Oh,
That's
no.
so sad.
Not yet. Not this language. Learning.
Yeah. They kind of you hear them they're speaking like when you go to if you're like go to a reenactment or Renaissance fair that's actually trying to speak like an olden kind of tongue, that they're speaking of a version of common, but it's very archaic.
Okay.
It's like the equivalent of like these and thous and stuff like that. So they help me look. And they are trying to sit up again.
Yeah, so they'll reach in and kind of like prop them up as best they can.
Yeah. They kind of sit up, and you realize at this point they're very large. Like
okay.
they seem very frail at the moment too, but they're pretty big beings.
Okay.
So it's probably not quite as tall as you, but they're definitely like more of like a hulky type of build. Like if one of these was in full strength, like it would probably be pretty badass.
Nice.
Yeah.
Before they reach in there, I meant to ask before. So when I got the name of the Inari and the fairy tales, in there, those stories, are they dangerous? Are they conquerors? Are they benefactors?
It totally depends. Again, like it's like ancient aliens. Like
yeah, okay.
like some ancient alien conspiracy theorists think, oh, they came in, it's like
Right.
the Stargate where they came in, like dominated the human race and
Yeah.
turned and then some of them are like, no, they're benefactors. They came and helped us and gave us technology so we would survive. And so literally, like, what you know isn't helpful.
Yeah, okay. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm
and that's
gonna-
because you got that mix.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to help you support the figure, and I'm going to say you should keep your hands free.
Can we say at this point that have you, like, maybe you're trying, like, you've moved the pod down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like we know enough to like
Yeah.
get the terminal to bring the pod down so we're not way up high.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of sitting up, and it sort of turns the pad slightly because it's like on a little stick, and then it also, like, you see its little eye stalks move a little farther to try and read it, and then like it's flashing colors of like thinking, and then just all of it just goes, like, all the colors go like white,
Oh.
just like, and you just see like the being goes stock still and like just quietly like lays back down just in like utter like shock.
Oh.
And then you just see like just the saddest colors, just like if this being was a crying being, you'd probably be like sobbing, like wailing, like utter loss, like as it has realized that this ship that was supposed to carry its people across, space, like, and make a new home for them, like it and it's also gotten readings showing that it never arrived, that most of the pods don't have life in them, that there's a handful of them, that there's somewhere else, and like it's discovered that its civilization is done.
Yeah.
And it's been like literally like millennia.
Wow. Nolvath flashes just like a color of like empathy, like sad and grief, but also like love and comfort at them. It's like kind of complex to try and
Yeah. I feel like colors would actually be really good for that, though. Actually,
Yeah.
For emotions.
yeah, like this the feeling, and you see like it sort of like it acknowledges, and then it looks and speaks, and they're all gone. What have you? Why are you aboard? Like suddenly, there's a little bit of like, oh, maybe it's like afraid, like like danger a little, but like it also is sort of past the point of being afraid.
yeah.
I'm gonna grab Rhodes' hand behind my back and like pull him to be directly behind me, if that's all right.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think he's shockingly easy to lead in a very familiar way.
So Nolvath explains kind of how they got here. Our people, we require DNA to continue, so we send out our young into the universe to bring back. I was sent, and my pod ended up here on happenstance. We were here for some time before our crew also happened upon the ship, which was adrift. And we have lived here for a short amount of time. We are disconnected from our hive. So it is a small drop in what you are experiencing, but we have some understanding. One of your young from the eggs hatched as we were exploring the ship, and they have been so wonderful to experience and to grow with and to speak with. I'm certain they would be elated to meet you.
Like the minute you like mention that like one of your young hatched, there's like this total change in colors, and the eggs the eggs have survived.
They're safe. The incubators are still working. We have not disturbed any of the other eggs. We did not know what to do. Honestly, when finding your ship. But we could not leave you asleep forever, knowing there were living beings in here.
Not, oh, it was an accident. Sorry, we let the kid touch stuff.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Nolvath sort of did that on purpose.
No, for sure. 100%.
And I'll interject there and say, and there are many more of these pods that we have not accounted for. You may not be alone.
I can feel that I don't have much time. I was old when we entered the pods, and now it seems I am historical. But if there are young ones that can survive, you must. I realize I have no right to ask such things of strangers. But if you love the young one, as it seems you do, you must find a home for them. They may not know who we have been, but they must have a future. If you could do that, there's nothing I could do to repay such a thing. But they do not deserve to stagnate and die in their eggs with no chance of life.
We very much agree. If you can instruct us on what environment would be best for them.
Yes, if you've been in the ship, there are large ecosystems with the trees.
Ah, the forests, yes.
Yes, this something similar to this, with high humidity for easy breathing would be ideal. As they grow, they will need to molt, so they must dig down and do such. Eventually, they will grow more into a humanoid form and they will no longer need the protective shells at that point. And they will cease to bear themselves to molt. But for some time, I do not know how you measure time, but it will take them many Anaran circumferences. Like, he's struggling to kind of explain.
Yeah.
Like, with no measure. Like, you're all from different planets. Like, all of the orbits take a really long time.
Yep.
So if you read the terminal, it will tell you. But it will take quite a long time for them to get to full size.
We understand. The other adults, do you wish us to attempt to wake them?
I do not. There were just supposed to be so many of us. We knew some would be lost, but I don't know what happened. They kind of look. Not that it matters now.
There's at least 40 living.
40. That is a start, and then with the eggs, perhaps they will have a chance. I think with so much time passing, there is no way to know how long we will survive once you bring us out of the pods. Some may live for many years, but it may be possible that none of us will. I leave it to you to think what is best. You seem to care. And you have more information than I. And then there's kind of like you kind of see like the gills on their neck kind of like flutter, and it's sort of like what would probably be like a cough.
Mm-hmm.
Should we get them to a medical facility?
Yes.
Yeah, if that's the case, I mean, I'm gonna see if I can start lifting this individual up. And I've got like a tear streaming down in my face.
Yeah.
I've never like seen what looks to be like the end of a civilization.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'll try to lift this person
Yeah,
off. I'll try to
I'm right
actually
in
like
there
full
with
on
you,
carry
Yeah,
I
them.
think before Alistair, you step forward, you can feel Rhode's hand like tight
Yeah.
on yours
It's
and
returned.
shaking,
Yeah.
but he does let go.
This individual is incredibly heavy. Like we're talking about a species with an exoskeleton.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like trying to lift up like a knight in armor.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
have
so
a medical bay? There's probably a stretcher or a gurney.
Yes, we also have the hover dollies.
I have hover dollies. I'll go get one.
Nolvath.
Could I see the child?
Yes, we call them Tavrok. In our language, it means small friend. It is a term of endearment. We will bring them to you in the medical bay.
Also, Rode, who never runs anywhere,
Mm-hmm.
has run.
Oh.
They seem to have like they seem familiar with the concept of names, but they introduce themselves with their colors,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of like the flashing, similar to like what we've done Tavrok.
Nolvath did do the like Tavrok color.
Yeah, they understand, but
same
it
time.
seems like important to them in this moment to like use like their true name
Yeah.
and like, and then they start talking like about just, and it doesn't seem like they're talking to any one of you in particular. They sort of start talking to you, Nolvath,
Mm-hmm.
but then they start just kind of recalling about their peoples, and it sort of seems like they realize they don't have a lot of time, and this may be the only opportunity to make sure like knowledge of them continues.
I flick on my recording
Yeah,
device.
I've never been more grateful that Lawrence has stashed cameras all over the ship.
Yes. So they just are recounting, like as if like someone who like lived in Atlantis and like was evidently sort of an important person in Atlantis, like
Oh, cool.
describing their technology, describing, like their need to, sorry, like how the history of their people, the describing what things look like, and like as they're describing things you can kind of almost picture like the architecture of the ship like being transformed into like a full civilization that was like this interesting semi-aquatic civilization
Okay.
that like started to be built on the bottom of the ocean and then over the time like grew, and then as like over the millennia like the species also developed, so then they were like had like the modified gills so they could be in water, they could be out of water, but they
that's
do need
cool.
like the high humidity. So it seems almost like they developed with their civilization. So they were such an ancient peoples that they like their architecture also kind of modified as their bodies modified.
That's so cool.
Cool.
Yeah. And it seems like eventually the orbits and their star kind of started expanding as was wont to do, and it started changing the temperature on their planet, which as a water-based civilization was causing really serious problems. So then they started doing this, and they sent off like this generation ship in hopes of finding like this new home. Yeah, and evidently something went awry, and they don't know what went awry.
Yeah.
Rode does come back with the hover dolly, furniture dolly.
Yeah. And we'll kind of beeline for the med bay. Or actually, I'll go retrieve Tavrok while everyone
Yeah,
else
we take
takes them to the med bay.
I'm gonna keep them talking, keep them, just conversing. I'll ask actually, were there any more of these ships that you sent out?
We had a fleet of them. We all went together. We had a planned destination. but I do not know if we were the only ship to go awry or if the rest were destroyed and we were all that is left.
Maybe they reached their destination and we can help you catch up to them.
That would be fine.
Rhodes starts to operate all the medical stuff
Mm-hmm.
and just get it all set up and going. He literally just did this, so.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to, I have extensive star charts and stuff from my job. I'm going to try to sync up, where do you think you are? And show them where we, just try to get some semblance of where were you trying to go approximately if they're, willing to look at star charts with me. And
Yeah, they're kind of looking at them, but I'm sorry, I would have to read more from our systems. I have been under for so long,
I understand.
but they start riding in the air and kind of showing you some symbols,
Right.
in this desperate attempt to try and relay how you might be able to look it up in the system.
Right. Okay.
It was programmed in and it should be there still if you were able to access it.
Right. I'll see what we can find.
And then it was often called Ernsin, is what other civilizations called it in their tongue.
Ernson?
Ernsin.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm just going to deploy one of the unused terminals in the medical bay so I don't have to go far, but just start doing some research.
Yeah, you can start typing on it. You are seeing that same stuff, though. It's these strange symbols and all these
God.
flashing colors.
Right.
So it's not in, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But you're able to, pull the data into your pad, which maybe
Okay.
the computer might be able to do more with it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe I could request the fairy tale translation
Yeah.
module.
Yeah, so it's some sort of alphanumeric chromatic language
Yeah.
together.
Awesome.
So,
Cool. It's gonna be fun to learn.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you were just talking about how many languages you learned.
Yeah, just break your mind into 3 equal parts and then
totally
it's
fine.
Perfectly normal.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. We're going to end for just a moment with you bringing Tavrock in.
And on the way, they would kind of prepare Tavrock and say, we were able to wake one of the elders from the ship. They are old, very old, but they would like to meet you.
Tavrock seems a little confused at that. You don't know if they actually realize, what this ship is.
Oh.
Because they just hatched. So to
that's
them, this
true.
is the whole world.
So I think they'll try and explain, elder family.
Oh, okay. And they're like, oh, okay. And then, so they come in and you see Tavrock kind of do the thing where, they kind of pull in their shell a little bit and they see the being laying, there, and the medical facility is, working on them.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of, lean a little closer to you. And then they're but their eye stalks are kind of popping out a little farther so they could, pull their body away, but,
Nolvath would, offer to pick them up so they can see closer, but, still be with them.
They do it, yeah. And they're, doing the sort of thing where it's just, protecting me. But also, curious colors.
Yeah.
And then, the elder, when they see them, you can just see, the colors are, a sigh of relief and, tiny little bit of hope. Amongst also sadness. There's just, this weird mix of, joy and maybe we have a chance, but also sadness that they won't, they don't think they're going to be there, and that now this little one is alone, and what's their life going to be like? Okay, gosh, I can't think about that too much. Okay. So yeah, and then they kind of reach out, and like they touch Tavrock when you get close enough. And you probably like can feel Tavrock like freeze for a moment. And then it seems that they have some sort of like like Tavrock's little antennae like start touching the exoskeleton of the larger one. And it seems like they might have like another form of communication too.
Cool.
Awesome.
Where it's like giving them
Get some antenna, man.
yeah. Where it seems like there's some sort of like hard to tell, like pheromone or something going back to them. And you can see Tavrock kind of like relax and then slowly like almost pull almost all the way out of their shell, like leaning forward, trying so hard to like touch. And then they do like gently kind of like eventually like kind of pull off of you and crawl down. And then they are sitting like right next to the head of this elder, kind of doing like this flashing light, like, and then like also this like antenna communication.
That's so cute.
Yeah. And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
Beautiful, Kimmy.
That was lovely. I'm also picturing this medical AI going like, oh, finally a normal person.
Yeah, for
None of these
sure.
weirdos.
All right.
Personal directives.
Yes, personal directives. Thank you. So go ahead and look at your personal directives on your sheets. If you
Oh, I don't have one.
you don't have one, but you need to write one now for next time.
Yeah. It's a secret, right?
It's just, it can be.
Okay.
So yes, so we're resolving our personal directives. Who did anybody meet their personal directives? Road. What was your personal directive?
Offer Nolvath a drink since they weren't with us when we went and had a grand old time down on the planet.
Sweet.
Was it under the right circumstances or intention? No, but you know what? It did happen.
I love that.
Mine was to challenge Alistair to a competition of stealth.
Nice. All right.
All right.
Very good. It hasn't happened yet, but you absolutely get
The
already did the
challenge
challenge
was made,
happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
Issued the challenge.
Yeah, we just have to remember to make that happen.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Nope.
Not this time?
Nope.
Okay.
Not today.
All right.
Not
Well, you can
today.
keep it and save it for next time, or you
Yeah.
can come up with a new one. All right. Awesome. Whew, that was like I wasn't anticipating it being that heavy at the end of this tonight, but
That's good.
yeah,
Very
so
good,
good.
Kimmy.
So thank you for joining us tonight. This has been session 7 of Outrunners, a Starscape actual play. This is actually a system that is kickstarting very soon. On July 9th, the Kickstarter for this game will be going live. So if you go to goldenlassogames.com/Kickstarter, you can follow it and be notified when it goes live. Or if you're from the future, you can go there and back it. Or if you're from the far future, hopefully you can buy it. So we'll see.
And look out for arc ships if you're from the far future.
So support this game. I think it's good, but I wrote it, so I'm also super biased. But thank you to our amazing Patreons who keep us ad-free and independent. It's because of you that we can play games like this and not have to worry about publishing companies or system popularity or ad money or any of those things. You can join the heroic ranks at happyjacks.org/Patreon. My name is Kimmy. I go by she, her. Also, thanks to our chat mod, James V, for his amazing hard work tonight. We had a bunch of raids tonight. We really appreciate it. So thanks to all the new faces as well. So came in at a good night, friends. My name is Kimmy, she, her. I am GMing this game. I also wrote and designed this system. And yeah, go support it. You can find me at Golden Lasso Girl on most social media, or at Golden Lasso Games, or at hjrpg, all those things. I actually have another call to action tonight, though. I actually work with the Game Manufacturers Association, and I'm part of their DEI committee, and I'm co-chair of their Pathways committee with my friend Ray from MythWorks. And we're actually we have a program that we do that's a sponsorship and also a business intensive program where if you are a up and coming, a new publisher in the game space. It can be tabletop RPGs, it can be tabletop games, board games, party games, card games, any of those things. Or if you are a retailer who is working at or has recently set up like brick and mortar retail business, you can apply and be part of this fellowship is what it's called. You're basically a cohort of 12, 6 publishers, 6 retailers, and they give you grants for your business. They provide travel and accommodations for Origins and Gamma, so you get to go to both of the things, and exhibition space. They also provide you with a mentor that you meet with at least monthly, and then also multiple like ask me anything panels a month that you can attend and learn more about business, talk with professionals. If you want to apply for that, applications are open between now, July 1st, that's today, and July 22nd. So if we want to go apply, go to gamma.org/horizons. And you can find all the other information there. So if you're interested in that, go fill that out. And it is specifically for historically underrepresented and marginalized groups. So if you belong to one of those groups, fill out the application. It's long. I wrote it, but do a good job. There's a rubric. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? You're surprised.
I am. I'm very surprised.
All right. That's my thing for tonight. So let's go this way tonight.
Okay, I'm Jason. My pronouns are he, him. As are Alistair, the character I'm playing, the warrior of the bunch, ostensibly. My stuff. Oh, right. You can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Blue Sky at It's Probably Okay. I stream on that channel quite a bit. And you can find my game at probablyokgames.com, home of the okayest games around.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jay, he, him, and I played Jonas, also he, him, who kind of doesn't know where he is in the world right now. Got a lot of heavy stuff happening this session. Welcome to the crew, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
You can find me on Instagram at TransplantAsian and pretty much everywhere else at JAfrica. You can also find me this coming Sunday at Alamo Draft House, where I'm going to be one of the DMs for their Dungeons and Draft House event. Hope to see you there. I think I've still got like 2 seats at my table, so if you look up Alamo Dungeons and Dragons, you'll probably get a link to the ticketing link at downtown LA in Video Vortex.
Yeah.
And beyond that, I am going to be one of the guest DMs at Conquest Ventura. The con is July, I think, 12th through 14th. I'll be there the 13th and the 14th, running a couple of premier Tier 4 Dungeons and Dragons Adventures League games. Hope to catch you over there. It sounds like it's going to be a great time.
Cool. Hi, everybody. I'm Kai. I use he, they, and she pronouns. You can find me all over the internet as Estelle of Imladris. And gosh, what a treat it's been tonight. I have the great fortune of playing Rode, who's never a problem, and nor is he dramatic. Gosh, you can find me on Sunday over on Vault Companions on Twitch, where we'll be streaming episode, 6 of Angels and Atoms, which is a Fallout Modifius 2D20 system game where I play the polar opposite of Rode. I play very clever spy robot. And you can... Oh, and then in a week, very, very soon... Oh, actually, no, that's the thing. I was like, there's something else. If you go to... I should have looked this up. I had it in my head. A fun project that I am working on, if you go to youfoundaKeyAgain.card.co, there's a teaser for an upcoming actual play project that you will hear a very familiar voice as the narrator.
Exciting.
So go check that out. It's with the wonderful people behind Gudya. The very, very award-winning, acclaimed actual play from last year.
Awesome.
And hi, everybody. I'm Sam. I use she, they pronouns, and I have been Nolvath, they, them, waker of ancient civilization.
That on your title. This is my business card.
Yes, for science. You can find me all over the internet at Red Pandroid, and here on Mondays doing the weird stuff on the spaceship. Amongst weird things, I'm the weirdest one, usually. So That's fine. Don't worry about it. You can also check out my good friend, Wank, friend of the show, Sylvia Hellstaff's book. If you like monsters, are over the age of 18, and like romance, you might want to check it out. It's called Shadows Light. There is a sequel coming soon. That I hear the draft is done and artwork is happening, so it's going to be publishing sometime this summer. If you like haunted house vibes, spooky New England stuff, maybe a hot shadow demon and want to romance them, check it out.
Nice. All right. Once again, thank you so much. We'll be back next Monday at 7 p.m.-ish Pacific time and find out what happens with this now ancient civilization, the Inari. All right. Bye, everyone. Thanks.
Bye.